Had a little bit of a snafu there. I wanted to clear everything up before we actually got started. But the cool part here is I went around, looked around the internet earlier today, took some lists I already had kind of goofing around with, found some lists that are kind of interesting. So we're going to play some different and weird stuff today. Some lists are not going to look normal. Some are trying to use some very quirky cards. So we're going to try a few different things today. It's going to be a pretty interesting day overall. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. So we're going to play some Magic. Give everybody a little bit of time to roll in here because this is kind of a surprise stream out of the blue. We don't normally stream on early evenings on a Saturday, but you know what? I'm home. I'm working on stuff, so I figured why the heck not? Let's do it. But also, side note, if y'all haven't checked stuff out, y'all should go over to some of our folks here at mistymountaingaming.com. Go give them a look. They have some really sweet stuff. Really interesting stuff, honestly. I say give them a look. Why is my chat not working here? Uh-oh. This is not good. Those are all good. Uh-oh. This is going to get kind of difficult because I'm going to have to hunt around to keep up with chat as things stand. That's going to be a little bit tough. I'm going to have to figure out the best way to do this because my software for this is not working the way it should. It's telling me I need to... Everything's already activated. I'm not sure what the situation is here, but give me one quick second. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and make all this work. So y'all get a better experience. Weird. Everything appears to be activated. I don't understand. Oh, let me see if I can get the help support real quick. See if I can get a support person to rescue me. My chat is broken. Well, hopefully, let's see. I'm being told to activate chat, but it's already running. But no, already. I know this is the most entertaining thing. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, we'll see what they can do to help us out. Hey, Trexadactyl, Christmas 666. Bill Carroll, how's it going? Broken Soul. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like bounce around to keep up with chat, unfortunately, the way things are set up. Let's see. See if I can talk to a person and get this figured out. Live restream for broadcast. Chat only works for restreaming through a service. Yep. All right. Well, we will try this. Can I use... Nope, that doesn't work. Thought I had a different solution, but that's not going to solve the problem either. Yep, not sure what to do here, folks. Let's see. I'm afraid if I toggle off and on, I will cause a problem. So I don't want to do that because I feel like that'll mess up the stream further. So we're kind of in a weird spot. Though, if I'm bouncing around, I can at least still see what's going on with y'all. So, hey, Alien Robles. How's it going? All right, well, we're going to have to just play some games, and I will have to make the best of this situation. I can put up the chat on screen and maybe pop out this window so I can see all of you, because the chat still shows up here if I put it on screen. So that's a solution. it's not my preferred solution, but if it's all we got to work with right now, you know, I'll have to make the most of it. So if y'all give me a second, I'm going to rearrange a bunch of windows on my end to see if I can make this a workable solution. I think I can only make this so large, though, unfortunately, which is not helping, but, you know, I may have to do what I can do. Sometimes technology doesn't work out the way we want, and you just got to take your best shot. But yeah, hate that it covers up so much of the screen, but it's probably the only way I'm going to be able to see y'all right now and know what's going on. Bill's saying Monstrous Rage. What is that? Keeps getting spicier? Yeah, it is a damn good card. That is true. Alright, well, they said they're transferring me to a rep. In the meantime, let's do some things here. So I'm going to bring the chat down while I'm recording, and then I'll bring it back up when we're done. How does that sound? Alright. Let's pop this up. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into this deck, because it's actually pretty sweet. Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? We got a sweet deck today. It's from MTG DVD. This is kind of a deck I actually thought about, but never committed to building, which is why I find it very interesting, and I'm kind of intrigued on what's going on here. But it's got a lot of fun stuff here. It's got a lot of creatures that have a hard time dying on your side of the battlefield, right? So it's playing Barb Servitor, which is super cool. We never get to have this in a deck, but it is indestructible. It technically is suspect, so you can't block with it, but when it damages the opponent, you get to draw a card, lose a life. When it's dealt damage, your opponent loses that much life. Now, it does have some stuff to remove the suspect thing, but we'll get to that in a second. The other creature it's playing that's hard to kill is Tyvar the Pummeler. So you can tap something else, give this indestructible, right? So this is also hard to kill. Great blocker, by the way. And then later on, it can just pump your team, which is super good. Another card that it's playing is Thrun. Thrun is also hard to kill on your turn. It also can't be countered. It also can't be targeted by anything that's not green. All that being said, let's get into the rest of the list, and you're going to see how this comes together. So, some early removal, being Elspeth Smite, cut down, no surprise there. It does play one Audacity, which is a little weird, but by the end of the video, maybe we find something else that should be. There is a couple of Get Lost. It does play Sheltered by Ghost, which is really good because you put it on something that's hard to remove, and then it kind of just stays hard to remove forever. They don't get their thing back, right? Because now it has Ward 2 and Lifelink on top of being indestructible. It does play some Invasion of Ixalan, which can help you look through the top 5 of your deck and find a creature that you want. But this is where it gets interesting, right? It's playing sweepers, like Split Up. So get rid of everything else, your stuff lives. You can also obviously control what's tapped and untapped with the help of Tyvar. Airtight Alibi. Now, this is a card that's very interesting because one of the downsides to Servitors, you can never block with it or get damage onto it easily. But at flash speed, instant speed, you can remove the suspect from it, or is no longer a suspect, and it gets +2/+2, which is super cool. So you can surprise block, deal some damage, your creature lives because it has indestructible, lots of fun stuff going on there. It does also play a Deadly Cover-Up, another way to sweep the board. Has Overlord of the Hauntwoods, just as a way to get your mana, get you a big body, because you definitely need mana on this list. Some Virtue of Persistence can let you get some of those things back, but probably just going to be a removal most of the time. But you never know. With the Overlord of the Hauntwoods, maybe you can just go ahead and cast the enchantment side. And there's a White Sun's Twilight. Again, if it goes off, your stuff probably lives. So yeah, this is going to be a wild list. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I thought it was really cool, and it was worth at least trying out and seeing if this is a real thing or not. So, as always, when you get to the end of all this, if you want to play it, I'll have a link. You can download it. It'll take you over to Moxfield, a channel sponsor, where you can try this out for yourself and have some fun with these crazy, crazy lists. But anyway, let's get into some games and see if being indestructible can allow you to plow through your opponents. Geez, that was terrible. Streaming 2 days in a row? Yep, we are streaming 2 days in a row. Having some difficulties with my stream. Let them know, okay, I'll be slow responding because I'm also live. When streaming real best, you can access chat directly through the built-in chat dog. All right. Anyway, back to the games. Let's go see what we got going on. Because I 100% don't know how this list is going to work out, but we're going to give it a go. All right. I'm going to play one test game. Here, let me get in here. But welcome all you people that are here on a Saturday evening. Also, if you want to hop over and see something else, there is a Commander stream going on Predators for Change. It's on their Twitch channel. They are doing a fundraiser right now to raise money for people in disaster zones. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to play one practice game in the play queue, just so we can get a feel for the deck and understand what the hell is going on with this pile and if we can make it work. Then after that, we'll see what's up. Yeah, we'll play Invasion of Ixalan later. Oh my gosh, we're going to get our stuff milled. Unfortunately, I'm never going to be able to use this against that unless they just accidentally attack with it, so that's kind of disappointing. I might as well... No, I got to play these because these will be tapped otherwise. Yeah, it's fine. Sure. I already have one Elspell Smite, and if we're going to get something milled, it might as well be that. Oh, well, nothing could get milled as well. That's the other solution, right? Alright, what do we got? Wow. That sucked. That's not good at all. I guess we take another Invasion of Ixalan? Like, I don't know. That was pretty bad. It's totally not what we wanted. They found our other color of mana, though, so there's that. Oh, they're going to get rid of that? Sure. Go for it. I don't even mind. Hopeless Nightmare. So you're going to mill some things and I have to discard a thing. I guess this... I don't feel like they're doing much attacking. That's not their game plan here. Alright, that's cute, I guess. Wow, Arena, you were going to try to do me dirty there. Leaving no black mana open. Fortunately, I had another swamp anyway. Alright, there's a Tyvar, but I don't have anything to go with Tyvar yet. But I will take it for future considerations. And then end the turn. I'm surprised we hadn't seen like a door or something from the opponent. Duress? Alright, well. See what they want to do here. Okay. I mean, Deadly Cover-Up. I was going to say, oh, wait. They didn't. That's intriguing. I don't even... Alright, I guess I'm just going to hold Deadly Cover because I don't even know what's going down right now. They have to be playing... Alright. I'm going to do this expecting it's going to get -3/-3, which is sadly one of the best ways to get rid of this. But we don't really have much choice. Oh, they didn't have it. Well, that's a convenient pickup, isn't it? Let's swipe that. Oh, I have to hit the opponent to get a card, right? Okay. Well, those will have to wait a second. Random. Don't know how much it helps us, but it's there. Hall Creeper. Okay. You got it. Before we go there, let's see if we can kill this. We can. Ooh, they left both on top, which feels like they probably have a way to get rid of our Servitor. If we believe that's true, do I want to play a Tyvar? No, I'm just going to attack here. Get a card. Alright, that's not bad. I guess we end the turn. I don't know what they would have other than giving this -3/-3. But, I don't know. Oh no, they just had another one of those. Okay, well that's not the worst thing. Opponent was on a serious mill plan, though. I gotta give them credit. They committed to the cause. We're just slowly getting this done. Like, this is the most pathetic, like, slow roll here, but yeah, sure. I don't even have anything in my yard to get right now. Oh, I could get their guy, though. That'd be kind of awesome. We just need one more untapped land. So Kidnap says you get control of it? Oh, that's weird. Okay, so Kidnap says that enters chap, Chatterghost was promised, but 3 stun counters on it. Okay. Then how do I want to go about this? They're top decking at this point. I mean, if we do this... I kind of don't want to get rid of this, though, because I want to steal one. Alright, fair enough. What else do you have to get rid of? I guess we get rid of the crab. Alright. Let's remove some things. Let's go 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all we gotta have, right? Yeah, sure. And we'll get rid of this. Opponent's hand has nothing. Opponent's library. We'll get these 3. So they do have a bunch of rooms. We just didn't see them. Hall Creeper. A nuisance, but fine. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and just play this. Like, if they have a way to get rid of this, fine. We'll get a card. Whatever. Great. That works. Though, actually, I probably should have just... Nah, Thrun would have still left us. Yeah, that would have been dead next turn if I'd have done that. You have another thing you're going to have a hard time killing. Let's steal this from you. That's fantastic. Yep. Alright, cool. Do. Demir Doomsday Mill. That's kind of what it was. Here, I'm going to take about 1 minute, respond to this thing. Let's see. What do they got here? This page OJ Studios Brown clicker URL box pop in a window and paste the URL copy to restream. Then click OK. What? Okay, hold on. What is even... Sorry, y'all. I'm having a quick second here. Let me go here. I think our problem may be solved to make the chat cleaner, which is great. Maybe. I guess someone should have clicked the plus under sources. Okay. If this works, this will be great. cancel that. Dun, 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 dun. And all right. This is, we will try this. If this works, it'll make life a lot easier. So that's why I'm taking a second to go ahead and knock this out now. Y'all will see some weird stuff on the screen for a second. I promise you, this is not what the stream's going to look like. Dun, 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 dun. Here on the URL box in the pop-up window. All right. So get rid of that. And copy it on restream. All right. I think this is just, I don't think this is going to solve what we wanted. No, this is not. This is the backup plan. This is what we were doing earlier. So that's unfortunate. All right, well, I thought we had a solution. We're going to be back to where we were. Sorry, guys. Just going to be the way it is for a minute till we figure out what's happening. That did not solve the problem. Dun, 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 dun. I think I need to send them an actual picture of what I'm talking about. All right. I love, you know what I love though? How fast we can do stuff now where it's just like, oh, let me just like grab a clip and send somebody a picture or whatever. Like before, they felt like it used to take forever. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. All right. Oh, no, wait. I need to cancel. I need to get into the ladder games. Almost messed that up. Not that it would have been a big deal, but still. All right. Let's give it a go. But it is good to see everybody. Like I said, we're streaming a little more. I don't know how frequent we're going to be, but, you know, it's a thing we're trying. What is this? Oh. Hey, they do have a solution. That is fantastic. All right, so now, hello, Extra Humor. All right, we should be good to go now. It's going to be a little weird, but for me, for y'all, it should be totally normal. But the fact that we have a working solution now is great. It's actually kind of exciting. All right, cool. So now when everybody chats, I think I can see it. I just don't think I can type in chat. Refresh your encoder stream preview in the restream website, and it should work now. Refresh my encoder. What? Why? All right. Well, they're trying to help me out in real time, but hey, at least I can see everything. That's the start. So at least we're there. Actually, you know what? Let me just refresh this page. I feel like I'm at the turn it off, turn it on phase, and then everything will work. And it does. Literally. I refreshed and it works. Like, that's, oh, I hate that. Like, literally had this issue. Oh my gosh. All right. We're going to keep this hand, and we're going to get into playing the game. But I think we solved our stream issues. Okay. Okay. What are we trying to do here? I think, well, we'll still, we'll play this. Because I probably need to go get a green source here. Alright, this is going to be one of those games, because this is probably either a Haudijin deck or the blue-white deck, and either way. Another green source is nice. This is probably getting countered, though, later. Yeah, I don't know how we beat this particular deck, honestly, because unless they just don't have counters in hand, which is pretty unlikely, I don't know how we're going to slip stuff through is going to be the issue here. I mean, this can't be countered, obviously, later, if we can get to that. But in the meantime, I guess we just do this and let them counter, so they have to spin something on their turn. Yeah, like I said, we knew that was coming. Oba says you fixed your internet. Awesome. Having internet in this day and age is huge. Like, no exaggeration. Alright, here's the good news, though. I think if we stick Thrun, they're not playing sweepers, so Thrun might go the distance. Or we don't even have to cast it. Like, is my opponent, like, stream sniping? Did they just, like, see Thrun and be like, I can't win? Like, because they're doing everything they wanted to do. They have Oculus in the yard. They've been, like, they found their white mana to reanimate stuff if they needed to. Like, I don't even know what happened. I mean, it's a win, but that's not really a win. It's just weird. Like, maybe pizza came. I don't know. Maybe their dog got into something it wasn't supposed to and they had to leave. Probably a real life issue. Definitely sniped, or his mom called him to dinner. Possibly. You never know. Like, you know, maybe they were supposed to be watching the baby and the baby fell off something, you know? Real life emergency. Oh no, what am I doing? All right. That wasn't a real game. I don't even know what happened that last game, honestly. We're going to keep this, though. All right. Let's go Shadowy Backstreet. Yes. I probably should have got rid of that, honestly, because they're probably playing some... Well, not true. Not true. If they were playing a more aggro-y deck, they wouldn't have had these lands in there. So this is obviously the Boros token control, whatever kind of thing, I'd imagine. Okay. I was hoping there'd be a Servitor there. I mean, I don't know if I need a second Thrun. They'll probably Sunfall somewhere along the way. But I also kind of... Well, I have 4 land already. Alright, I guess I'll take another Thrun. Why not? Yep. I mean, we knew that was coming. Alright, we found our 5th land. The opponent didn't do anything that turn, which is peculiar, but we're also not going to do anything this turn, so there's that. They can always flash something in, though. Nope. Oh, they have all the removal cards in hand. That's what's happening right now. Makes sense. Do I need a swamp? I mean, guess another forest. Since I'm holding all of these Thruns. Alright, Thrun. It's your show, friend. I mean, here's the interesting, right? They go land, Sunfall. We play Thrun, they Sunfall. Then we try to White Sun's Twilight for like 5 or 6. Because our hand's not great in this particular matchup. Though being able to get rid of that is kind of sweet. I won't hate that. Guess what? I'm blocking. Ooh, and Servitor. I'm going to hold on to Servitor, though. Because there's a real chance they are aiming to Sunfall here. And if they are, I don't want to lose the Servitor as well. I think I'm just going to try to end this as fast as I can. Because if they do Sunfall, they're going to get the Urbrass Forge back, and it's going to be a whole thing. Oh, they can get rid of the enchantment, though. That is real. You got it. Okay, they can't beat Thrun. I don't like. Did I enjoy the match? No, nothing happened. Like we literally, like Thrun literally just makes people scoop. I guess. Like I don't know what's going on anymore. Maybe he's just that good in the meta right now. Thrun's just a monster in the meta. None of the decks I'm playing today have any name, nothing. Like, they are just piles of cards. That's the whole reason we're doing today's stream. This is weird, man. I don't know. Great username. This is the best username I've run into in a while. Hold the Mayo. You know, I'm gonna keep it. I know we can't cast a card in our hand yet, but we only need 1 green mana for that. Okay, now we're gonna start getting a little bit punished. Ooh, on Glimmer. Oh, yeah, we'll go ahead and not want to deal with that. Oh boy, I'm getting max punished. Like literally just drew 3 or 2 green cards that both need double green. I mean, good news is if I can get an untapped land here, I can have Servitor and remove something. Oh, of course it wasn't an untapped land. Man, I don't know if I need that or not. I guess not. We're looking for more lands, really. Yeah, I think... yeah, this is tough. This is one I think we're just going to lose because we're going to get too far behind. Rightfully so, though, to be honest. I mean, when we're not casting cards. Sure, that thing's going to get juiced up. You know what the tough part about all this is? I kind of need a Thrun, or else I'm going to lose my thing to their Sheltered by Ghosts. Like, the only other option, really, is... I guess I play Servitor. Then if they get rid of it, then I could still Tyvar plus Sheltered by Ghost in retaliation, I guess, and hope that does something. But we're going to take a lot of damage either way. I can't imagine we're taking less than like 6 or 7 here. Minimum. All right, so the first half of that made sense. We expected that. All right. We're going to hope that us not playing a spell... We played one spell through... 2 spells through 5 turns, which is not good. All right. That has a use. However, we know they're holding that, and they have that on top, so we're not going to really get to kill what we want. So, here's hoping. We can just kind of do what we can do. If they have an answer, we're just dead, basically, next turn. Alright. So with that information, we can't target their creatures, but we can target the Sheltered by Ghosts. That gets us at least one blocker with the Tyvar that we can make indestructible. But this also gives something flying, doesn't it? Yeah, so we're going to take a pile of damage anyway. And pass the turn. Yep. I mean, we knew that was going to be a bunch. There's nothing we can do about it. Just like, take 7 to the face. 8, 9 if they want it to be. Oh, even more. Yeah, we're dead, right? Yep. All right, GG's. Yeah, we didn't do anything that whole game. We deserve to die there. That was just one of those cases. I'm going to tell you right now, y'all, if y'all show up to the streams asking what are we playing, there's rarely going to be an answer. Our decks don't generally fall under normal things unless it's already a known deck. So I would literally just be listing cards that are in the deck. I don't think that really helps you to tell you what we're playing. The best thing you do is hang around and find out. And just see all the idiocy that we're doing. I guess we keep it? I feel like I need even more multi-lands in this deck. Alright, well, once the creatures come down, we're going to start getting hurt. Shadowy Backstreets. Hey, we need that. I mean, I assume we're just dead, right? That's curious. So they must have... Okay. Alright, I'll take my turn. I feel like they have the thing that when the creature dies, they get to manifest or whatever. You know what? I'll take this. Because then we can at least force an action from the opponent next turn. They might also just have a lot of land. I don't know. Their hand just might not be anything great. Sure, you have an Emberheart Challenger. Sounds good. I mean, we're just playing the patience game. Unless they literally have nothing. But I doubt that's the scenario here. Okay, so the option here is attempt to kill this. I assume this is where they'll try to pump things up or do whatever it is they're going to do. Oh, they still didn't have anything. Well, that was weird. Crap. I would have done my spells differently if I thought they had nothing. I was planning to respond with this once they tried to put something on the stack. Yeah, I guess. Damn, what are we doing here? Am I just trying to kill this? I don't know. Yeah, go. I don't know what's happening right now. A Heartfire hero, sure. You got it. Okay. They will get to draw a card here, which is a mouse. Man, let me draw a sweeper here. That's what we need. We need a sweeper now. Oh, no, they're going to be able to double strike anyway. Yeah, we need a sweeper at a minimum. And then we need them to not draw a hasty boy. Oh, well, that's not going to cut it. All right, we're dead. We didn't do much. We just kind of sat here. Yeah, I think I misplayed my removal spells, though. I gave them credit for stuff they didn't have, I think. I have some ideas for this deck, though, that I think... Trying to think of, like, 1-mana things I would want in this list. Oh, wow. Alright, I guess we'll keep this. It's tempting... You know what? I think I'm still going to play this and go get a black land. I think that makes the most sense. I mean, it's interesting. Like, the Invasion of Ixalans are interesting, but I'm not sure how important they are. Like, they're good, obviously, to go find some of your few creatures, but I'm just not sure. I almost feel like I want them to be something else at times. What are y'all's suggestions, chat? What do you think we should put in here when we get to the end of the video? Opponent? What you got? Turtle King, everybody's waiting on you. I don't think I remember seeing those sleeves. Alright. Good news, they're playing black, so probably a lot of spot removal. Hopefully, not a lot of stuff that makes us sacrifice things. Sad part is, whatever's there, I probably have to take a land. Like, no matter what it was, I think I was priced into taking a land. That's true. Turtles might just play slow. Keen-Eyed Curator's not bad. I do like that card. I get to discard. Probably just going to be this. Which, after you see this, and you see this in the yard, my opponent's probably going, what the hell is this? And they're not wrong to feel that way. Big C? Okay, well, at least now we know what we're up against. Pass the turn. Probably just discarding an Audacity, realistically, here. Though, you know what? Thrun's actually bad in this matchup, because they play Tithing Blade. So, I'm going to need multiples of a lot of things. But they are also stuck on mana. Not to say they don't have Tithing Blade already. There's a good chance they do. I also could be in a little bit of trouble if I do give them the maps, because they could play something like Viper, though we have split up, I guess. Opponent? What are we doing? All right, they found more mana. Happens to be white, not black. Not sure if that matters. I think I'm going to end up having to discard this, but... Ooh. Never mind. I was just about to say I may have to discard the split up, but... I may need to just get rid of Zoraline. This is tough, right? Well, I can't cast Thrun right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Destroy all untapped creatures. Now, they'll probably make me discard again, which means I'm going to be all in on Thrun, effectively, and then top decking. Yeah, Glissa, I think, could be a good inclusion here. I wouldn't even mind if she died to things. I think it's okay. Now, if it's double discard, this hurts. Which it might be. Though they might just, like, Shieldred or something here. Braids. Okay. And they're sacking the enchantment? I am not mad at that. Okay, I was going to say, that was about to be a wild move. Sure. I'm going with this. I have a feeling Tithing Blades is in our future, though. I guess gotta hope they don't have it, but I feel like they do. We're just really, really hoping they don't. I mean, they didn't insta-play it, so that's some good news. But if they do have Tithing Blade, we get super wrecked. And it's like, we lose Thrun, then we're going to lose 2 life, they're going to get a card. Like, then it's an all-uphill battle. Alright, a white land isn't the worst thing. I don't know if they were reading Thrun or trying to target Thrun. Okay, we knew that was coming, so that at least is fine. Alright. So now I'm going to get priced into either... Well, you still can't target Thrun. Oh, you're getting rid of that. That's fine. Oh, okay. Sure. You get a card. Alright. So now I have to decide if it's worth trying to get rid of... Oh, wait. If I get rid of Braids, though, I get another card. That's not terrible. I mean, it does take 4 mana. Getting rid of this is kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. Damn, though. Getting rid of Braids is really good. Alright, I'm going to attack. I think I just get rid of Braids. Because, like, if they spend 4 on their turn to try to get an extra card, like, I think it's all fine. I probably should have done it pre-combat. Because I could have got our own, like, Sheltered by Ghost or something, too. Well, I wouldn't have the mana. Because I have to spend 4 to kill Braids. So I guess it doesn't matter. I will wait to do what I'm going to do, I think. Just so they make plays with the idea that they have Braids or whatever. Assuming they'll probably try to attack first, though. And I'll still have to target her. Yep. Thought there was going to be a Tithing Blades. Sure. That happens. I can't really do much about it. I don't think I have anything I would even be able to search for that would stop it. So that's fine. We also kind of assumed they had Tithing Blades, so, you know, it's also not a shocker. Alright. So that's the play we wanted to see. I mean, you obviously don't want the opponent to have extra cards, but, you know, we're working with what we got. This means we don't take any damage. Ooh, we could start trying to get back a Thrun. 2, 3, 6. Man, none of these are great. Is the problem. I guess this is kind of the best option, though Invasion of Ixalan is probably better. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Invasion. See if we can find some type of threat or something. That's an option. We're at 10. Yeah, I guess it's worth it. Take this. I mean, I'm probably going to end up having to discard it. Or if they get a Pixie, we lose the Servitor anyway. Like, in general, this is probably a bad matchup, if we're being real. Since they can replay Tithing Blades. No, I don't think this is so much of a Skrelv's Hive deck. Wouldn't be bad, though. But I don't know if this is a Skrelv's Hive deck. Plus, I think because the deck is already slower, Skrelv's Hive is bad against the aggro decks. I think Skrelv Hives is fine if you have other stuff to go with it along the way. I don't know if this deck fits that build. Oh, looks like they might be picking up a Tithing Blades, folks. Or just playing another one. Alright. That's interesting. So they're doing nothing with their mana? I was going to say, that was about to be weird. Another land? Nope, they found a Pixie. Alright, well, whatever I'm going to do has to happen now, then. Oh, wait, they're not picking that up? Alright, you can have a card. We go to 8. That was not what we wanted. Crap. Oh, I guess I got to go to 7. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Yeah, we just didn't draw anything to get out of trouble here. And the turn. I mean, the only good news is we were able to hold 2 cards for the time being, so we prevent some damage. Was a little surprised they sacrificed the Tithing Blade since I knew they had a Nurturing Pixie as their next card. Alright, Bandit's Talent. Well, we lose both of our lands, so there goes 4 damage. So we're going to be at 1. That's unfortunate. Wait, why did you pick that up? You could have just... I mean, I'm cool with it. I just don't know why what just happened. I'm confused by everything right now. Oh, okay. Sure? Alright. I have zero clue on what's happening at the moment. I'm dead either way. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. We should have been dead on this turn, with what their hand being what it was. Yeah, we're dead anyway. I don't know what even went on that last turn. Standard's great. This deck's not treating me so much. We either have non-games or we draw clunky. That's pretty much what it's been so far. Like, opponents scoop to, like, I don't know, just one creature, or we just don't do anything. Let's keep it. We have double green. We have Overlord. Let's go for it. Oh, I think Standard's fantastic right now. Honestly. You can play all kinds of stuff. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Forsaken Miner. Well, we kind of know where this is headed, don't we? I am going to go ahead and just use this now. They might bat us and get our Overlord, so, you know, I could have been a little hasty there, but we'll see. And bat time. Like, I have so many opponents that have cut down into bat, like, so frequently, it's almost insane. Alright, well. That's something, at least. So I guess they're going discard with their duders? Okay. Oh, Screaming Nemesis is fantastic. I like that card. Alright, you got it. And then I have to discard another thing. Oh no! You got to duress the thing I was gonna use. That's sad. That's, however, not sad. I mean, I'm back to taking some damage, but Thrun says he's cool with it. Alright, come on. I mean, you're definitely going to be getting some cards off me. Ooh, that ain't bad, though. I'm willing to play this game. Go. Nothing in either yard we could get back, so, I mean, no reason to even worry about racing to Virtue. The good news is their creature can't block, and currently we can give our team +5/+5. So that's 10 plus 6. That's 16 damage just straight up. Now they could -3/-3 on Tyvar. That would be legit. Oh, opponent, are you going to try to attack with everything? That would be a very bad move. I would not recommend it. They're checking our graveyard. Like, they're tempted to attack with Tiny Bones here. Yeah, I was going to say, that's not the play. That's definitely not the play. Oh, boy. Here we go. All right, I'm down for this. Let's tap this. Would you like to kill our Tyvar? This is your one opportunity. Not true. They'll be able to do it on their next turn. Oh, actually, no, they won't, because I'll have an Overlord by then. All right, firing up the machine. Opponent saying GG. Uh-oh. Are they planning to return serve here? No, Miner ain't it. Conscript ain't it. It's tapped. Yep, that ain't gonna get you there either. All that emoting with all the oops and everything else, and look where we are. Everybody's about to have a +6/+6. And they're going to have one blocker. Opponent saying GG's, but I always like to wait until we're officially finished. All right, cool. There we go. Four Get Lost, four Withering Torments, main deckable in every black-white deck. Maybe. I don't know if I would say every. Yeah, Tyvar is basically a Crater Hoof. The thing is, though, like, you don't need to go overboard on the enchantment removal, because a bunch of the enchantments are also creatures. You know, so, like, half the time your creature removal is still killing the things you want to deal with. Except for maybe against, like, the mono-white token control things. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll keep it. I mean, I can go search for a white land. I can still cut down something. Then we can go make a land and see what happens. Oh, look at that raccoon sleeve. I have never seen. There's so all the time. I just don't pay attention to the sleeves that come out on Arena, I think. Because I feel like at least once or twice a week I see sleeves. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Also, some of them came out in like different secret layers too. Oh, well, this is unfortunate because it means we're probably... Oh, wait, I played the wrong land. Gosh dang it. I meant to play the forest. Son of a gun. Ah, well. Well, now my whole play is going to be messed up. These cards are not good in this fight. But they seem to just have removal and not things that make tokens. I mean, I could have 6 mana and try to protect Tyvar for a turn. It really just makes the opponent spend some cards, is all we're doing. But that might be the play. We have double black. We have multicolor lands, so sure. Alright. I guess we try. I mean, I assume they will attempt to target Tyvar here. I mean, because if they don't have any removal... I mean, I guess they could have Sunfall, I suppose. That would be a little bit odd to only have that. Alright. Now they might do it, just for one and then get a token. And they'll get a card. Oh! Tough cookie. Well, not gonna lie, y'all. Was not expecting that. That's a little bit of a surprise. Tough cookie, huh? Alright. Attack with Tyvar? Try to hit for 10? This isn't actually going to work, is it? Nah, there's no way. Oh, it is. What? All right, 10 ball. Way to go, Tyvar. Completely unexpected. Oh, so they are literally just digging for an answer now. I mean, admittedly, it's also 10 life, so... Or 6 life. Unfortunately, Tyvar does not give stuff trample. It just gives you +X/+X. Okay, let's see what we could find here. Oh, there's a Sheltered by Ghosts. There's another type. Man, we have so much stuff here. Golly. Jeez. I don't think I want to play another creature here, because I do honestly believe a Sunfall is coming. Do we just take a Servitor? I feel like that's the correct answer here. I mean, they can also gain 3 and block. I don't know. There's options here. Yeah, backup Tyvar is justifiable. I think my issue, though, is I was looking for something that's just hard to kill by itself and possibly be able to draw some cards to keep up with the fight. Because I have to assume at some point they're going to stick a Sunfall. Nope, they just have an Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Yeah, I don't know what we're up against right now. Other than the fact it's just some green-white thing that plays Caretaker's talent. I don't know what's happening. I mean, maybe they're not even a Sunfall deck. I don't know if they are or not. Oh boy, what are we looking to do here? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I need 9, actually. I don't know, man. I mean, alright, I guess we're attacking. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I feel so lost right now. Alright, I mean, I guess I try to pump Tyvar. This looks nothing like any deck we've run into before. Okay, the ladder's been weird today, man. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's happening anymore on the ladder today. Like games are just over for no reason. Like when opponents have full grips of cards. Like I for real don't know what's happening. I don't even think I played that very well. Like, those are the ones that really bother me because I don't even think I made the right decisions, but somehow we still won. And I guess I gave them credit for having a Sunfall, which they didn't have, so there's that too. Okay. What do we got going on here? I guess we keep it. We do have double green already. Okay, that's not bad. It can maybe, sorta, kinda ensure we get our third land. Or I should say untapped land. Be more specific. And I will take a plains here, actually. That worked out nicely. No bat, please. Liliana would be kind of annoying, but a bat would probably be more problematic. Because I think the plan right now is going to be try to play Overlord of the Hauntwoods into Servitor and see if that's good enough. Backup Servitor is kind of cool. Even if this Overlord of the Hauntwoods dies, we at least got our land already, so that's good. Oh, sure. Have at it, friend. I don't even know if it matters what I get here. I guess I'll just take a forest. Maybe they needed a second white, which is what they're hunting for. Yep. Okay. Oh, we got a poison. What? Okay. It's not something we see all that often. Let's get a second black source. Not that we terribly... Oh, we already have that in hand, too. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. And then let's play Servitor number 1. We could also get crafted and play Servitor number 2 with the Sheltered by Ghosts. Alright, well, we have 2 poison counters. I have no idea if those are going to matter down the road, but we have them. I don't know that that's relevant. Like, at least not as things stand at the moment. Gonna make a sacrifice another creature? Oh, well, that'll do. So is this just an all removal deck? No actual, like, what's your win condition? Probably a Planeswalker. It's probably like Kaya or something. Which, this deck does not have an answer to that. And now they're going to destroy our Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Nope. Okay. Oh, well, you do get a tie bar. Oh, well, you don't suck. You know, I kind of want to do this just to get it out of my hand. In a weird way. Knowing they can't target Thrun, but it guarantees... Well, no, we don't have anything in the yard anyway, right? They would just have... They'd have to kill that. There's a chance they're just going to Sunfall anyway. They're playing, obviously, just a removal-heavy deck with no real thing. They're probably just killing with Planeswalkers. This is just one of those ones, just go, it's a matchup we're not going to be able to win. Yep. I needed my own here. That's all we're going to get. Alright, I'm just going to give him the GGs. Yep, that's kind of boring Magic, really. That's one that, like, when y'all wonder, like, what doesn't make the video? Stuff like that. Like, people don't want to sit through, what was that, 9 minutes of nothing? Actually, I guess it was 7 minutes of nothing. But hey, some people enjoy that style of Magic. I want something interactive where both sides are doing something cool. That's what I want. I have no idea what you're talking about, Catastrophe. I don't even look at my main board on Arena. I go straight to playing games. We'll keep this. Oh, I needed an untapped land. If I'd had an untapped land, we'd have been rocking and rolling. Oh well. We probably die here. But this is kind of how easy against mono red. Like, if I'd had an untapped land, like, they don't even have anything to target. Sure, you got me. All you, friend. Yep. You got it. Wonder what took them so long. But that's when people say, like, mono red, you can't beat it, and it's too good. It's not too good. I just needed an untapped land. Like, is it annoying? Sure. But, like, all I needed was an untapped land there. Leo, there's no value in seeing those games. Literally nothing happened that game. Like, when there's a grindy back and forth and things are happening, yes. But there's no value to that game. I literally sat there, played one Overlord. I played a thing that got removed. They swept the board. That was ball game. Like, there's no takeaways there. All right, let's see what we can do with this. Ooh, life gain stuff. Cool. It's mostly for this. Which, I get what they're doing with their tight alibi in this list, but I would probably turn it into something else. I'll go ahead and play this. Much as I'd like to threaten a removal, we probably don't need to be messing around too much. Though, maybe I should have, because we're going to just do this anyway. Alright. And is our duder dead? Nope. They decided not to kill it. Doom, 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 doom. Alright, you're doing a life gain thing, but I don't see the life gain parts. Alright. Oh, opponent. No. It has Indestructo. Yep, the shame concede. Man, this is rough. I don't even know if I can make a video. I don't even know if I can make a video out of this. Like, every game's just basically been a non-game, right? We either just play like two things and win, or that's not true. We had one game that was a good back and forth game, or like we just did nothing. Like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Nope. I'll switch decks when I'm ready. I gotta make sure this is a business issue. I gotta make sure I have enough footage for things. Have the mercy of the shame concede. I've been there. I know the feeling. Alright. Don't have double white, but we're going to keep this anyway. Alright, we'll keep that. That solves the double white issue. You know what? I'm going to do this. Yeah, alright. Fair enough. I was debating how I wanted to play my lands, if I wanted to, like, see if we can get another land on top or something, but I'm wondering if we might be able to get lucky and split up. Especially, like, next turn if the opponent... that's gonna hammer us. Like, if the opponent rolls into Corpses of the Lost, then we get all their stuff here. We do take a big hit, but I think it's worth it. Yep. And then destroy all tapped things. And then just hope we don't get too run down here. Alright, well, here comes 3 more, and I'm not going to be able to block that easily. Gah, why weren't you a Tyvar? Alright. This is probably dying to a cut down. Or, I mean, go for the throat. But, if they only have removal in hand, we do have a world where we could then possibly either Servitor, Sheltered, or if we get an untapped land, Thrun plus Sheltered. Okay, that's not terrible. Okay. We have to watch our life total here, though. How do we deal with this? Because we can't block the 3-1, but then we give them the ability to search during their end step. But if we attack, we do get to gain the life first, so there is that. We would gain 7. Go to 11. They'd be able to do 9. I mean, you know, maybe it's worth it. Question is, what are we getting rid of? Actually, you know what? If we get rid of this... Actually, if I was going to do that, I needed to put it on Thrun, actually. To make sure they couldn't get this back and make a token. So that's not any good now. I think we just get rid of this. Yeah, I think there's a world where I could have put it on Thrun, got rid of that. So then even the things we couldn't block would be lower power toughness. So, yeah, that might be a little bit of a mistake. Sure. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 is not a good number. If I attack, they go to 7. If they were to find another skeleton, we would take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. If they have another one possibly dead, no, they'd have to have a removal on top of it. Alright, I'm going to go for it. Okay, they're blocking. That helps. That takes away some of the concern. Alright, opponent. I mean, they may have forgotten. I was going to say, there you go. It's like you can go search for something here. And that matters. Plus, we don't even know what's in their hand. Yep, I assumed at least that. So we're going to go to 5. And then we need another Sheltered by Ghosts. Oh, actually, or... wasn't thinking about that, but that works. No, I was actually thinking if we found a Tyvar, because we could have played Tyvar pumped and that would have been 10 from Thrun. The tough part is these also don't block, but we gain life off of this. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just do all of it. And then go to 12, and that puts us in a pretty safe spot, I think. Actually, not completely true. Because if they target something and get those back, I mean, depending on what's in hand. But we still have to try to end the game, though, you know? Like, if they have something, they have something. They could probably just be, like, cut downs here. Yep. And then you cut down player dude, and I'm dead. Yep, that's exactly what they needed. GG's. Alright. They had the cards. Okay. Let's talk about things. Alright. Overall, I like what this deck's trying to do. The thing is, though, I don't know if it's doing any of the things it's trying to do consistently enough, I think is the issue. You know? That's what makes this kind of difficult, I think. What do we want to do here? This is a tough one. If I didn't swing, I could have won. Like, possibly. I mean, they could have also played their turn differently, too. They still had other cards and other mana. Their other token doesn't need to attack as a 3-2. So, like, there were still other things that could have happened during that turn. I just went for it, and if they had it, they had it. I wasn't that worried about it. Here's the thing. I think, well, first off, let's see what else has indestructible. Because I don't think there's that many things that do. I mean, this is actually a cute card. It gets indestructible. Oh, no, it's other creatures get it. So it doesn't even get indestructible itself. So that's not any good. These dudes do, but the Dominus aren't really doing anything in our deck, so that doesn't particularly help. Smuggler Surprise is a cool idea if we want to lean on that a little bit more, but also not terribly where we're at. So yeah, there's not a lot here. So I mean, we're kind of playing the things that you're going to be able to have indestructible with. So I think as far as that goes, nothing else really to explore. I don't think the Audacity needs to be in here. Like, it's nice, you know, giving something trample or whatever, which is cool, but we just don't have enough things to make it worth it. I think, like if we were going to lean harder on it and make it like, okay, we're going to try to ramp up to play a servitor. We're going to play stuff on it so it's hard to block. We're drawing cards. You know, I think that could be a thing, but it just doesn't feel like that's enough of a thing. Also, I don't know if we need Smite and Cut Down. I kind of want Smite or Cut Down and max out the Get Lost. Because these are just better against more things. You know? So I think that's another thing I would do. Invasion of Ixalan still kind of works. I'm not mad at it. It makes sense. But an extra Tyvar. I mean, because I think the other thing, too, is like Tyvar without something else rarely put you in a situation where you want to play a Tyvar, right? And we're not playing, like, I don't know, Tyvar's stand or whatever, right? We're not doing any of that stuff, which I think would help quite a bit if we were able to, but it's just not where the deck is right now. So I think you want to go up on those. We're playing more white than black, not by a lot. So, actually, if I'm going to do that, I'd still probably rather have more cut downs. So probably put it to something like that. We also have Sheltered by Ghost, so I don't think we need to go too crazy on the removal. Airtight Alibi, I get what we're trying to do, but man, it just doesn't do what we want it to do. Like, it did once, don't be wrong. There was one game, it was exactly the card, it protected Tyvar, that was great. But that's kind of all we could say about it, right? The one time, it was really cool, and then that's kind of it. So I'm fine removing those, going up another split up, and then maybe trying to play something like Elspeth. Right? It's a way to make more tokens. It's stuff that, you know, after a sweeper, we still have a thing on the board. I'm not upset about that. I think it's kind of neat. Do we need more White Sun's Twilight to have something to do with all the mana from the Overlord of the Hauntwoods? You know, like, maybe. Because, like, conceptually, I think the deck's kind of cool. And when it does what it wants to do, it's neat. So, I feel like this is a little closer to what we're trying to do. And by playing Elspeth, we got a couple more threats in there. But I really would like to have some other... something else. I don't even know. Something for 2 mana that we could play early that's useful. But I'm not even sure exactly what that would be. Unless we're going to play, like, Carrot Cakes or something. Just chump blockers. It's a way to get life. It lets us scry. Maybe a token left behind to help Tyvar, potentially. You know, something like that probably could work here. But there's really not much else, I think. I think it's one of those things that if you're going to go for it, you're playing a very careful, crafted deck. There's not a lot. Hive doesn't work here. I don't think Skrelv's Hive is the answer because we don't have anything else to go with the Hive, right? We're just losing life making things that don't block for multiple turns against the aggro decks. So I like Hive, but I think you need the rest of the deck to also support Hive, whether it's something that's benefiting from the artifact tokens coming into play, you know, you're aggressively trying to run down their life total, you know, something like that. Moonshaker, I don't think works either because Moonshaker's too expensive. It's 8. I mean, It's neat, but it's 8. I don't think this is what we want either. And we don't have that many creatures as well. It gets bigger for the number of creatures. We're only ever have like 2 things out, maybe 3. So this isn't really doing what we want either. Also, it doesn't have haste, which is kind of disappointing on its own. But yeah, I think something closer to this is probably where we want the final list to be. In general, if there was anything really to say about the deck at the end of everything, is simply that it just has a lot of non-games, right? Like, when we won, we just won handily and the game was just over. Or when we lost, we just didn't do anything. So that's one of the reasons I made those changes to this list. It's just streamlining it, giving us a few more options with stuff like Elspeth, giving us a little more trickery with the split up. And I think overall this helps kind of clean it up just a little bit. I didn't feel like the mana was too bad, except for times where we wanted a couple more untapped lands early, and that's a little bit of a concern, so I might swap some things out, because I do feel like you need to be able to cast cut downs or get lost on those early turns, and we just had too many times where we couldn't, and I think that's how you lose, unfortunately, some of those matchups against the fast decks. So I'm probably going to swap up a couple of things here. Even though I do like having the Surveil lands, I think I got to switch it up just a little bit there. But overall, we're going to end up with 4 Cut Down, 4 Get Lost, 4 Sheltered by Ghost, 2 Invasion of Ixalan, 3 Split Up, 2 Tyvar, 2 Archangel Elspeth, 4 Barb Servitor, 1 Deadly Cover Up, 3 Overlord of the Haunt Woods, 3 Thrun Breaker of Silence, 2 Virtue of Persistence, 1 White Sun's Twilight, and a billion different lands. I'm just going to leave them there if everybody wants to see them, because we have a lot of different ones. But yeah, as always, you know drill, check out other videos. We have lots of other fun stuff. If this ain't your jam, there's something on the channel you can find and entertain yourself with, because Standard is still absurd, and there's tons of stuff. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time. Alright, done. Again, Dollmaker Shop, you need other things to attack with. Right? That's the thing. Like, we're playing Tyvar, I won't say in a creatureless deck, but in a creature light deck. And where Tyvar is going to shine is in a creature full deck. So I think that's the real issue there. Now, there's probably some world where you could play Dollmaker Shop, Skrell's Hive, some other stuff that cares about pumping your creatures, a full set of split ups with Tyvar, and like, there's probably some wild stuff you could do with that, right? I think that's a real deck. But I don't think that's where you're trying to go with this. Like I said, we're trying weird stuff that I just found around the internet, so not a surprise if things just look weird or don't work out or whatever. Like, that's totally okay. I don't have a problem with that. That's kind of what we're just doing today, you know? All right. What else do I want to goof around with? Oh, yeah. Okay. I got something. This is one that's a little weird. Should be fun. We'll see if this works. Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? This one's going to be a little bit of a wild ride. I think this is like the culmination of what a lot of people thought they were going to do with the Overlords in preview season, right? How do we trick them into play? How do we not have to wait those extra turns? Well, this deck tries to do a lot of that. So we're just going to see how it works. But let's start at the top, because the first part's not that exciting. It's just some hopeless nightmares. It's cool. No, the name is not 187 on the Lords. The username is 187 on A, is the person who played it. And it's a Lords deck that we found. So, in case anybody's wondering what that is. But we have 4 Hopeless Nightmare. We are playing some Torch to Tower. Again, just early removal. Nothing surprising. A couple of Get Lost. I was a little surprised the deck only had a couple of Deep Cavern Bats, but I kind of get it. 4 Fear of Missing Out. This is going to be pretty good in this list, I imagine. Disturbing Mirth, a way to sack some things. We also could sack stuff too, like Torch the Tower or whatever, if we want to try to manifest, which is nice. We have Lorn of the Third Path, which could also destroy our own stuff if we need to. But this is where we start getting into the interesting parts of things. We have Scroll Shift, which can exile an artifact, a creature, or enchantment I controlled and return to the battlefield under its owner's control. Now, this does two things. One, if we have an Overlord sitting there with some counters on it, we can just get it instantly. But the other thing is, if somebody goes to target one of our things, we could also protect it and draw a card, which is super nice. Render Inert kind of does similarly for our Overlords. It removes up to 5 counters, so none of them are going to have more than that. So we can just play this and get our Overlords. However, this has to be done at sorcery speed, not instant speed, and that does make a difference. But it is a thing. If stuff goes to the graveyard, we have Ride of the Moth, which is super nice. So we can play our Overlords out of the graveyard and get those abilities. And then we have 3 Overlord of the Bale Mark, which is a little concerning for me because we don't have that many non-Overlord creatures. So I don't know if 3 of this Overlord is where we should be or not. So I think what I want to do, I'm going to make an adjustment to 187's list, and I'm going to go ahead and go to 2 of the Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. This also can be a finisher on its own. And then we're going to also have a pile of Overlord of the Mistmores, because we all know this one's just good anyway, making extra bodies. So yeah, so if you've been thinking about doing this with this type of deck, or, you know, you thought about doing this beginning of the season, never got around to doing it, now we're going to do it, and we're going to see if it works. So yeah, as always, y'all know the drill. End of the video, there'll be a link. Check it out. It'll take you over to Moxfield, a channel sponsor, where you could download this and try it for yourself and do all this ridiculous stuff with the Overlords. So yeah, this is going to be a fun deck. We'll see if it works. And let's see if we 187 on our opponents. No, we're not playing Bitter Reunion. I'm not a fan of Bitter Reunion. I don't, like, I get it. I accept that people play it. I understand why it's indexed. I have zero, literally zero luck with Bitter Reunion ever. So I just don't put it in lists anymore. If you want to play it, go for it. It just doesn't make it into very many of my lists. Unless, like, I have an exact thing that I'm trying to give, like, I'm getting a bunch of stuff into play and I want to give it haste instantly, then sure. But in this, I don't think it's the card we want. All right, let's keep this. This is all the mana we should possibly want or need. Question is, just do we need our early Torch the Tower or not? Looks like right now the answer is not. So let's see what's on top of our library. Disturbing Mirth. I mean, sure. I'll probably have a Hopeless Nightmare I could sacrifice. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh, Disfigure makes sense. Seen a few of those starting to pop up. Oh, opponent. Really? Well, do I just want to get a card here? I mean, you have to have a remove. Let's at least see what they're working with over there. I probably should just take a card under the circumstances, but... Oh, you don't even have a thing? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, I guess we take this. I mean, if they get Liliana, then they make a sacrifice and we just kill Liliana? Alright, well, that went swimmingly, I suppose. Let's go ahead. Get rid of that. Hey, lands. That's exactly what... Oh, okay, that's too many lands. Do I want any of these? I was like, maybe, but no. We already are at 5, and we're going to have some tap lands, so I don't think that's necessary. In the turn. We also get to manifest if we sacrifice this to target something. So this should be Liliana time, I imagine. Unless they want to go for more cards. Oh, they can't. They don't have double black. They kept a hand without 2 black sources. Do I want them? Wait, if it dies, I get the cards, right? Oh, I have to sacrifice it. Okay, well, that's fair. You got me. Ooh, Fear of Missing Out is not terrible. Let's go ahead. I'm just trying to think what I want to discard here. What do I have in the yard? And just enchantments. Well, that's not helpful. I guess at this point, I'll just get rid of this. No, all right, sure. Like, the deck's dictating what we get to do here. All right, end the turn. Oh, opponent found more black mana. Wait, this produces double black anyway, right? Oh, wait. Produce 2 mana that just been only to activate abilities. Oh, okay, never mind. All right, then. I still don't know what the unknown card is, but we don't really care that much right now. Okay, let's try again. See if we find something good here. Sack this. Yeah, those do a whole lot of nothing right now. I don't like. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, yeah, it's probably not even worth it. Sure. Go to attack. Opponent's at 9. End the turn, I guess. They are making a fish. Sure. What would you like to do? I don't know where this game's gonna go from here. Opponents at 8. We have drawn none of our big cards. And we've seen a lot of extra cards at this point. We put a bunch of lands on the bottom even. Good news is, though, if we do find something, we have actual options. I assume this is either going to be Liliana or Phyrexian Fleshgorger here. Whoa. Just Phyrexian Arena. At 8 life with... Okay. Alright. Ghost Vacuum. That's a nuisance for us, but sure. I mean, we can always kill it with Lauren, so it's not like it's that big a deal. Alright. So we're putting an instant in the yard, which we already had. Hey, look! An Overlord! Do we care about this being a thing? Probably not. But let's see what we put in the yard. Maybe we get an extra attack step. I also could have just like done it for 2 and then like scroll shifted it, which actually is probably a good idea. So if they like top deck a sweeper or something here, that would have been better for us. So kind of something to note there that I could have done that. Because there is a world now where I attack, they end up not being able to... Yeah, that goes away. That's fine. Alright. Cool. And then, like, if they sweep the board here, now we just have, like, Overlord in the graveyard, and it's just like, ah, that sucks. But if they swept the board, and then I kept up a scroll shift, then I get it back and can attack for 5. Which would have been pretty sweet. Alright, Virtue gets them some life. You can go ahead and kill my Fear of Missing Out, so you can go to 12. Makes a lot of sense. A land, not of the untapped variety, but not terrible. So they have to remove something before we dedicate to attacking here. Alright. I have been seeing a lot of Ghost Vacuums being played, though. That is definitely becoming a thing. Alright, I guess take a deep cavern bat. Can't really do much with anything else in hand. I guess I just play the bat, because then we just keep them from doing anything productive on their turn. Yeah, we'll take the end, I guess. I mean, because now you have to play your 3/3, because that's the only shot. Because if you play Liliana, then I just sack Lauren, and that's still 6. Yeah. At least force me to find something to deal with that. And currently I don't have a way to do that. So they will be gaining 4 life. Or maybe not. Okay. Well, we didn't find anything to hit. And that's what my concern was with the Overlord of the Belmerk. Oh, yep, there you go. So we blink this, so they don't even get to gain the life, and then they still take 6. Just as a cute trick, we could also just destroy that, because we want to. Alright. Hey, Midnight, how's it going? So yeah, that was kind of a long game for nothing great. like this deck didn't do much. We kind of sat there and sputtered around. The opponent didn't have mana, so it was a very unfortunate fight. Also, welcome those of you hanging out on the various platforms with us this evening. Lots of people coming around to watch some Magic. Always appreciated. We get to go first with all these white cards and know what. You know what, though? I can't. I was going to gamble because I have fear of missing out, but I'm not. That's just silly. Keep this. Do we get rid of Shadowy Backstreets? Probably. No, I'm going to get rid of Render and Nerds. That's more of a cutesy card. And then I can leave up towards the tower, and we can just see what we could do here. No! Oh, well. You got me. And, of course, we drew more lands. Alright, well, I guess I can say it. At least it's a workable spell that does something. Nope, still got nothing, opponent. They're going heavy on the discard, though. Alright, pass the turn. Alright, let's find us a red Overlord. That would be great. Let you target something first. There you go. Not that they didn't know we had that. Alright, so we have access to black, we have double whites, we have, yeah, so I guess we go ahead and get a plains. Hey, right on time. Like, it's like we planned that. Great. Shieldred. That's gonna be annoying. Let's scry. See if maybe we could find a Get Lost or something. We did. Great. Love it. We also get to be the ones that make it bad for the opponent that we decided to leave both on top, because that's always a good sign. Sure. Okay, they're just going straight to the attack step. Sometimes I just let them get the 2 life just to see if they'll do something else beforehand. but they look like they don't have much here. So we're just going to attack. Oh, maybe their plans to sweep the board. So maybe we can take a sweeper out of their hand? Because you don't have cut downs, obviously. Oh, did you? Oh, they had bitter triumphs. Okay, fair. What's over there? Go for the throats and Gissa. Alright. Well, looks like we'll be losing our Overlord of the Mistmoors when that time comes, but the opponent is only at 9. That's 3 attack steps right now. Alright, you have a Gissa. Can we set up something good? That's not good. Alright. That doesn't really do anything. Enchantment or creature. The opponent's at 8. They'll be at 5. We put them at 1. I don't think that's really going to do anything. Alright. I mean, we already know they're dedicating their turn to this. So if we can find even another, like, Hopeless Nightmare or something, that still does the job. Alright. I don't know what the unknown card is. I mean, that could still be important. We have both found lots and lots of land this game. Yeah, we knew that had to die. Hey, thanks for the follow. Alright, might as well attack us. I mean, all I got's flyers, opponent. Uh-oh, that last card looks like it's live. That's not good. Oh, no! Alright, are we dead? Oh, actually, it doesn't matter if I held that card or not. Alright, cool, we got there. Sweet. Larry Mitchell, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Razzle, welcome. Got people all over the place watching today. So far, though, this deck's held up. I mean, we've mostly run into black decks, but, you know. I think, though, what we're seeing is a fair amount of black decks to try to have more spot removal and, like, -3, whatever, to deal with the mono-red stuff. Which is probably why you're not seeing mono-red decks as much anymore. And you're seeing more, like, red-white variants more often. Oh. Okay, sure, we'll try it. I mean, I'm probably just discarding a Render Inert to start with, but we'll see. Alright, well, one of those goes away. This? Okay, we found a land. It's not really the land we want, but it'll do. So there's probably going to be a pixie. Oh, it was not a pixie. There's the pixie. I was wondering. Alright, so... Oh, Overlord of the Mistmoors. So I think we... Overlord of the Balemark... I think is the plan here. We get this, so now the only thing they'll be able to do is kill our actual fear of missing out. Which is fine, I guess. We have double white, single red. I guess it doesn't really matter. Get a black land. So if I saved a block... I mean, I attack, I trade with Tiny Bones. I guess this doesn't change much, sure. I mean, because if I'm discarding, I'm just discarding, like, Overlord of the Mistmoors here. Because I'm not going to give them something cheap enough that they could just cast it. That would be silly. Alright, here comes some extra damage. Sounds good. Alright, so now we need not that. Oh, we needed a land pretty badly there. I could fear missing out to try to get a land, but that feels even more risky. Alright, I'm just going to do it. We get to draw a card, so... Ah, that was not it. Gosh dang it. Sure. Dang, that sucks. So tough. Yeah, we don't have anything good, I don't think, for them to actually get out of our yard. So that's the good news. Because that would be a creature, right? Oh, no, non-land permanent. So they could hit us with the Hopeless Nightmare, but we're not that concerned about that. Well, they're going to play one of their own anyway, so that's fine. Target land from characters. You may mana of any type. I think I'm getting rid of this. All right. Hopefully, we find an untapped land here. Oh, we're dead anyway. Yeah. Yeah, we just didn't get any land. We're dead. Yep. That was a terrible game. They were fun. Nope, we just got stuck. Didn't get to cast anything. We had all the cards we needed. I mean, if I could have got one more land, we'd have been cooking, but we missed. Just noticed your stream as I was going to bed in Iceland. Oh, hey, cool, thanks. You know what? I'm hoping one day I can get over across the pond and go see some people there, because I have a few viewers from over there. Matt says, recently found your vids and became a fan. I actually molded my blue-red otter decks after. Oh, that's cool. Opponent gets to go first here. I think we have to mulligan. That's a little bit too much trickery. If we keep this, what are we doing? We are... probably get rid of this. Because I think I want to go get... I was going to say, go get a plains here, but we'll see what happens. It probably is still go get a plains. Because even if they get us a bat here, they're going to go ahead and torch the tower, I assume. Oh, gnawing vermin. So is this rats? No, they're just milling themselves. Okay. Noted. Okay, well. Oh, I forgot. I actually had to get a mountain because this won't produce the red. Oh, I goofed up, y'all. I goofed up. Thought I was subscribed and following on Twitch. Just fix that. Oh, thank you. Yep, I messed up bad. I wasn't paying attention to my lands. Yeah, I deserve to die here. This one I'm not blaming on the deck. This one's just me not paying attention. Happens a lot when I'm recording or streaming, but it's all good. Opponent, I have no actions. Do whatever you're going to do. Also, if you're going to subscribe with an actual subscription and not the free one they give you on Twitch, feel free to follow on YouTube, because that helps out even more. Because we have to keep more of the percentage of that. Alright. We're at least back in the game a little bit here. We have some trickery with the scroll shift, even. No, I guess we're not. We were for a second. Now we're not. Yeah, still, I'll go to 16. That's fine. Yep, that's not going to do much for us. Man, just one mistake cost me this whole game. And they're reanimating on top of it? Jeez, okay. I guess that's a thing. And yes, I know I could be attacking. I assumed the game was already over, so. Yep. Alright. Let's not make a dumb mistake there. Still part of the problem when you got to get used to new cards. That's always one of the things, too. When you're playing stuff different every single day, and sometimes multiple times in a day, like, man, your thoughts can get scrambled trying to figure out all the different cards. All right, let's keep this one. That's probably too many lands. Actually, is it too many lands? I'm going to say that it is. Well, we drew one anyway. All right. How many counters are we going to have to fight through with this? Well, not one this turn. So that's good. Let's try this. Sure, at least that's coming back tapped. All right, do we get any insights? Oh, this is just a domain deck. All right. Well, strap yourselves in, folks. We might be in for a long one. All right, sack this. Okay, that's at least useful in this matchup. Those, however, are not useful right now. Actually, that's not true. I don't think we're going to get to do anything with that, because I have a feeling they're just going to Sunfall or something when the time comes. But I'll take the Ride of them off, because there is a world where, like, maybe it doesn't get hit with a ley line. And they just, like, get lost or something and we can get it out of the yard. Though if they ley line, then we'll just try to Lauren, obviously. There's the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. You know what's funny? I think I want to destroy their land. It's an enchantment, right? No, it's not. It's just a token. Gosh dang it. If it was enchantment, I would have wrecked that. Yeah, there's really nothing else we can do then. Yep. And I guess we go ahead and do this. Get rid of the Overlord. Alright. It is definitely not a waste. It's all the other basics. Alright, so you're just straight up playing that. Well, as much as I'd want to save that for Big Atraxa, I guess I'll just have to find another answer. Well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I mean, I guess we can do this. At least get a peek real quick. Discard that. That's going to do absolutely nothing here. Alright, well, Sunfall will get a little bit of action. There's a Beanstalk, probably followed by the Sunfall. Because that's what I would do. Oh, nope, they just have another Beanstalk. I would have put almost any amount of money it was going to be land Sunfall. And I would have lost that bet. Is there anything fun or creative we could do here? I don't have an instant in the yard if I want to get another attack. Oh, I do have an instant in there. Blah. I could just waste a sorcery? Oh, I can't because I need a target. Blah. This sucks. Alright. See if I find something worthwhile, I guess. Sure. Alright, that's not nothing. We'll let that attack again. Alright, opponent's at 8. We'll attack again because we have a vigilance creature, so we get 2 bodies in there. They're at 4. Put them to 2. We can also sacrifice this to target our own thing when they go to Sunfall, potentially. Yeah, I think that's fine. Because we know, I mean, well, they also know we have right, so not a real trick there. Alright. So if they Sunfall, they have 1 mana up. They will get to draw 2 cards. So they'll have 2. Okay, well, they will have 1. Lockdown. That's a little bit of a concern, huh? I guess I just gotta crack this then. Ooh. Overlord of the Belmerk. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm only going to have 5 mana, though. Yeesh. What are we doing with this? Sure. I guess I'm going to do this. Question is, are we drawing a card here? I guess I don't want to give them a card under those circumstances because they're only at 2. So, I mean, they have to deal with Lauren here. Oh, they don't have anything. Wow. Okay. Oh, there's a ley line. Okay. I was going to say. I was about to be crazy. Still have the Overlord in the yard. I think we just leave that be. It's fine. I think I'm going to go here. So if they are going to Sunfall or something, it's a 1-for-1. I get a fear of missing out in the turn. You have an Atraxa. Alright, so now it's our time to just draw. Oh, we put a Get Lost in the yard, so we have 2 in there now. That sucks. Alright, so Sunfall. Alright, sure, sure. Leyline works. Sure. We did not draw it. I think I'm just going to go get the red Duder, because there's nothing else, right? They're tapped out. There's our 4 damage. Okay, cool. See, that's a matchup where it's like a lot of things happened. Like, you see all that in the graveyard, see all the stuff in our graveyard. It's like, even though that was a long game, that's actually worthwhile. Because, like, a lot of things happened there. It was interesting, though, because the sequence of the game was very weird, with them just setting up mana forever, and we didn't really do much early either. But, if y'all can give me 1 quick second, I will be right back. I gotta go check on something. And we'll come back and we'll finish this. So I will be right back. All right, that was quick. We're right back. Oh no, I got all my water. I try to stay hydrated. But let's see if we can get to another game. That's a good one, though, to win against the domain deck. That's very, very good. The other thing, too, I think that gives us a little bit of benefit is, like, them playing the Angel to shoot something for 4 doesn't necessarily get rid of a thing. You know, like, we do have a few ways to get rid of their enchantments and get stuff back. So we have some outs that other decks don't particularly have, which is nice. Ooh, all right, let's keep it. I don't even know what I want to discard. Let's see what we find. I always think it's neat on games when people just have, like, an actual normal name. Like, our opponent's just Chris. Like, how early do you have to be to just get Chris? You know, like, I don't even know. Like, you have to be one of the first folks, right? All right. Do we get to keep our fear of missing out? We do, at least temporarily. Well, not much is going on here, and I don't really want to use the Disturbing Mirth, so I guess we're just going to play a long game with our Overlord of the Mistmoors. Because we already know what type of deck this is. It's a bunch of tokens and control cards. And this is probably a Caretaker's Talent. If it's not, we're very lucky. Okay, sure. Builder's Talent instead of Caretaker's Talent, and they have a Toby. Good to know. Let's see where this goes. I will get... I guess we're going to have all the colors, and it doesn't matter that much here. So let's go now. Maybe I was supposed to get another Plains. I don't know. But I guess we'll go get one now. Save ourselves the headache. And we'll just go ahead and do this. No need to attack because we'll just get blocked up. All right. And this is like a creature or enchantment. Got a Merrick's, sure. Lay down arms on our fear of missing out. Seems fine. Okay. And I was say if they attack, I would have blocked there. That was going to be a real thing. All right, going for a hopeless nightmare. Oh, okay. So they're just on tokens. So I don't think we're worried about sweepers so much. I think next turn we can just play the other Overlord and be fine. They're on a whole different game plan. Which is good to know. I will sack this. Torture Tower's not bad here. I'm into that. Play this, and do I attack with one of them and then block Toby with the other potentially? Alright, I can be down for that. But they're definitely doing something with tokens here. Trying to take advantage of this. Toby. Not sure I see the whole plan yet, but there's definitely something cooking. Gonna flash another one in, probably. No, they're just getting rid of our Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Okay, or Mistmores. Seems good. Oh, now that is gonna be a nuisance. That's gonna suck. Yep. And then you can now minus Elspeth if you wanted to be able to attack with that Toby. Yeah, I'm actually good with that. I mean, I'm at 23. I mean, we get to attack Elspeth back. Like, this seems great. Sure, I guess we just go after Elspeth. We go ahead and play an Overlord of the Mistmores. Play this to leave every option open. And... I guess I'll turn a token into a 3-1 or 3-2. Or not, I'll just draw land. That works too. Alright, let's see what we got. So the good news is, so far, we've dealt with all the relevant threats that have happened. There's another Elspeth. Alright. Just making a token this time. Sure. I am not upset at this. Do I just... Nah, you can have the 4/4. That's fine. We'll block. I'll just do this. And then we get to manifest. Oh, well, that's something. Yeah, that could stay. I mean, for all I know, they have another Toby in hand anyway, but meh. Alright. Start here. We will use one of these. Gosh dang it. I was hoping so I could only have to attack with 2 of these. Sometimes things just don't work out. Oh my goodness, what are we doing here, deck? Alright, cool. We still have the other Overlord already in the yard, right? We do. Okay. Let's do it like that. And then we will... I guess we'll attack. We gotta get rid of Elspeth. I don't think that's really negotiable here. And then... play a tap land? Alright. Doesn't feel terrible. I mean, we dealt with 2 Elspeths already. So that feels pretty good. And block the 1/1. I mean, Toby needs help to be able to attack. So, 2, 4, 6, 7. We could have 8. We could do 2 things here, which are both super good. I think we do. I was going to say, if the opponent lets us. There we go. Feel free to Elspeth Smite one of these. I would not be upset. That's not it. Hey, new follower. Thank you so much. Let's do the thing here. I probably should shoot them, but this is fine too. Yep, GG's. There's the Caretaker's talent. They didn't make all that many tokens, though, except from Elspeth. So even if they would have had the talent, I think we would have been mostly okay. Yep, we're just going to attack over with all of our flyers. Or that. Come on, let's go. So many answers. Attack with all the things. Get rid of extra blockers. We just had excess gas. Like, this was crazy. Alright, cool. We'll take that. Yeah, I assume they possibly had a Sunfall, which is sort of why I was slow rolling a little bit. But if they did, then we just start cycling through more duders. And we had a Rite of the Moth to try to start getting more stuff. I mean, we still had... Oh, do we know? Oh, we still had Fear of Missing Out, too. So they would have had to find something. But yeah, and we had this about to turn into a creature as well. So yeah, wasn't too bad. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's definitely a tough one. Let's see if we can get a couple more in with this deck, because this deck's kind of wild. It's pretty good, though, to be honest. I'm kind of digging it. Oh, no. Can't keep this. Like, if I'd had at least 2 lands, I could have considered it with this hand, but that was rough. Okay, keep this. Get rid of Scroll Shift. I am going to do this and gamble. Is there anything good we can hit with the Torture Tower? There most definitely is. Awesome sauce that we don't have to deal with that. Let's play a bat. All of this sucks for us. How do I want to go about it? I guess we make them spend the most mana and then they minus Liliana here at least. If we do this. So that's fine. I mean, obviously you're Liliana here, opponent. Though they might also be wondering like why I did it in that order. Yeah, so they're going to go Victor first. Which is a weird choice, but hey, their choice nonetheless. So why Victor first? Unless they drew a particular enchantment that matters. That's a weird interaction. Why would you not Liliana there? Okay. I don't know why. I was trying to justify to myself why, and I can't figure out why. So if that's the case, I guess I'm just going to do this. Yeah, Hopeless Nightmare is good as anything, I guess. Their hand's already going to be pretty light. Yeah, I think Liliana was definitely the better play there, right? Hell, even if you don't want to make me sacrifice a thing, you just make us discard. But yeah, no blocks. You got it. 3 damage. Alright, there's the Liliana, as expected.
When I win, you're telling me what you know.
Yep, I will get rid of this.
Sacrifices must be made.
What you got, opponent? And then we'll go after Liliana. Interesting that they discarded that.
No fun when they hit
So, what do you have? This is a sorcery? Alright. I mean, you got it. I ain't gonna fight you over it. Oh, that's not helpful, though. Alright, I'm attacking. I'm just going to end the turn. They obviously need more mana. They have probably Shieldrids or something they're waiting on, I guess. Because they're not killing things and they're not playing things. I'm like, what's happening, you know? No, thank you. Alright. They were probably, I guess, waiting for us to play a better threat, and it never appeared, so that's probably the issue. Let's go ahead and crack this, see if we can find something useful. Neither of those qualify. My goodness, come on. Sometimes it's like that, y'all. Sometimes it's like that. I mean, I guess I just get the fear of missing out here. Alright. I mean, if they have any more removal, we're just wrecked. I mean, we have to start top decking Overlords at this point. Oh, here probably comes another Sheltered by Ghosts. Oh, it was not. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you might leave that up. Oh, using it on FOMO feels terrible. But I don't have much choice under the circumstances. Okay, I mean, we get 2 attacks, right? Oh, they have a way to protect it. Darn it. Yep, they drew the card to save it. Alright, that's fair. Not much we could do about it, though. You know, I'm actually tempted to just use this on the fear of missing out here if I'm not ever really going to get to attack with it. Actually, okay, they play this. This becomes a 6. You know what? Let's wait. Because there is a world. Because, like, even if I had drew a card, I would have just discarded whatever I would have drawn. So there is a world where they also can't attack either. Well, they can now. Though, then I'm just attacking with the fear of missing out, I guess. So that's fine. Okay, that's not nothing. I mean, this is a very clunky way to get where we want to go, but we're getting there. All right, we'll attack. And then we take that out of their hands, so we don't worry about that for future damage. I mean, my kingdom, I swear, for an Overlord. Opponent's just saying GG's. All right. I don't know how we got there, because that definitely wasn't ball game. Because we can't attack, but they don't want to attack because they die. So, you know what I mean? Like, they might have just drawn a land or something there, but yeah, that's a weird one. And our yard was kind of terrible. We needed to find an actual other threat, but you know what? We'll take what we can get. Okay, let's talk about some things. I like what we're doing, honestly, but Render Inert felt like trash most of the games. Like, it was always like the first card I wanted to put back in the deck on a mulligan, so that didn't feel good at all, which means it's a card I probably don't want in the deck. Like, I think the issue with it really is the fact that it's sorcery speed. Like, don't get me wrong, it has other issues. Like, you can take counters off planeswalkers and things like that. So, it's not like you can't. Well, that was weird. That was crazy. Hold, please. I need to check something. I think a file did not save that I need to save. Yep, that file did not save. Yeah, just like blipped for a second. That's okay, though. I know how to solve that problem. Fortunately, I'm a problem solver. And it's a pretty easy solution. All right, all good. Back to where we were. So, yeah, after all those games, I think the issue really is that Render Inert being sorcery speed sets you up too often to, like, you get the counters off and then your opponent sweeps the board, right? Or they can plan their removal or whatever, and you don't get a sweet combat trick. And the other thing, too, that I think this makes Scroll Shift, other than being instant, significantly better, is that it removes the card from the battlefield and returns it to the battlefield. So you get that other trigger of 2 more creatures, getting a creature back, dealing more damage, right? You don't get that with Render Inert. So I would say I'm willing to gamble on not having Render Inert and probably playing another Get Lost and another Deep Cavern Bat. I would probably do something like that. And I think they had a sideboard built with this already. Fair enough. But I think that's what I would do. That feels a little bit better. So you have more things to remove the enchantments and stuff in the opposing decks. You can get rid of problem sweepers if you need to. You still have Rite of the Moth to play stuff out of the graveyard. You still get your trickery with scroll shift if you want it. And again, scroll shift can also just save a random creature or whatever if you need to. So that would be more along the lines of what I would be trying to do, I think. Honestly. That feels better. But the final list I would put up would be 4 Hopeless Nightmare, 4 Torch of Tower, 3 Get Lost, 3 Deep Cavern Bat, 4 Fear of Missing Out, 4 Disturbing Mirth, 1 Lauren of the Third Path, 4 Scroll Shift, 2 Ride of the Moth, 2 Overlord of the Belmark, 2 of the Boiler Bilges, 3 of the Mistmoors. Lands, again, I'm just going to put these on screen here because there's a bunch of 1s and 2s. Because you're trying to make this weird list work because you got a lot of double mana in a bunch of things. So, you got to do what you got to do. You got to have a tight mana list to make that work. But yeah, like always, y'all know the drill. Check out all the stuff on the channel. Honestly, you should be a member sports channel. If you're not yet, that'd be great. Especially down below on the YouTubes and all that good stuff. But yeah, always check it out because Standard's got a lot of crazy stuff. We're going to be playing more crazy stuff, so you don't want to miss it. That's all I have you for now. We'll see you next time. Boom, done. All right, so we got that one taken care of. Yeah, kind of a sweet deck, though, to be honest. I'm kind of into it. It's fun. And again, I think Render Inert is a cool card, but I don't think it's really what it's trying to do. You know, I don't think it's an odd addition. I think that's completely incorrect, Motley. I think it's an addition that makes sense. It really does. I think it's just because of the way the metagame is right now, you're not benefited by having it. Right? Especially against all the mono white token control, whatever things. Like, you almost never want to use it. Right? I mean, I guess you could move some counters off of one of their cards, but like, you almost never want to use it on one of your own overlords. Right? Just because of the way the metagame is set up. But scroll shift, on the other hand, being instant, and you can respond to them trying to remove something or whatever, or during their instep, make a couple extra bodies, try to attack for lethal. It's just way more going on with that. And it still has a fair amount of threats. I mean, it's playing 15, but you are making stuff from your overlords and they're dealing damage and all that good stuff. So it's kind of an interesting deck. I'm with it. It's kind of cool. It's something a little bit different. I will say, though, it does mean we no longer have, well, we only have 1 sorcery in the deck. So we have enchantments, instants, creatures, lands, because we do have a couple of Fable passages, and 2 sorceries. So it's going to be harder to get Fear of Missing Out to trigger, but we do flip a lot of stuff with Overlord of the Belmark, so it is possible that we can make that happen. But it's not going to be as easy. Yeah, instant, sorcery, enchantment, creature, lands. Yeah, it's still possible. Still possible. So not too difficult. But yeah, interesting stuff, though. Interesting stuff. Like I said, these are just... I've been hunting around trying to find some weird decks out there on the internet, and boy, have we been finding them. There is a lot of stuff you can do and play in Standard right now. Yeah, even for later streams, I have other stuff, too. Just... Lizards still being active, Simic Artifacts. There's like a weird Abzan control thing with Kaya. We have a different Mardu value pile. That's a thing. Some Jeskai tokens. I mean, there's just tons and tons of stuff that I haven't even got a chance to put on the channel yet. Just things from last season, too, that I just like started messing with and never even came back around to. So, yeah, Standard has a lot of options. I think anybody, I've been saying this for a while. Anyone that says Standard isn't good right now is somebody who's not playing Standard. Truly. Like, don't be wrong. Are there things that annoy you? Like, sure, the mono red enchant or leyline decks are annoying, but they're beatable, right? The mono white token control decks, like, long drawn out annoying games, but are beatable, right? And there's other things that balance well against each other as well. So there's a lot of things. I think it's just, it's easy to go like, oh, well, the deck I want to play struggles against one of these other big, let's call it 5 or 6 metagame decks, right? So I'm seeing that once every 4 or 5 games or whatever, and it sucks. That's going to happen sometimes, right? Oh, I disagree. Bloomburrow, I think, was a very good addition. We're definitely on opposite ends of the spectrum on that. I think Bloomburrow was fantastic for a lot of reasons. I think it helped to rebalance the format. I think it was a great addition after a rotation. I think it set up things for the future. So there's a larger variety of decks available between all the different theme decks that you can play. I think it gave us parts that were very good for other decks. We're talking about like the squirrel stuff being good for sacrifice and graveyard, whatever decks. I think it gave us a lot of things, honestly. Don't get me wrong, I think Duskmourn is a fun set. But there is a lot that came from Bloomburrow. Totally. Like, Bloomburrow will be definitely a static part of the meta. Honestly, if we wanted to argue, I would say that the problem with Duskmourn is it's extremely top heavy. Right? You're going to be seeing stuff like the Overlords for a very long time. I don't know if we're going to see Survivors played for a long time. Right? I don't know if the vehicles in this set outside of the hover ship really get any, or equipment for that matter, really outside of hover ship, really get any real play. Right? Just as the format develops and we get deeper into this rotation, I could see a world where a lot of cards from Duskmourn see less play, whereas I think the stuff from Bloomburrow will always be around just because there's themes built around a lot of stuff. And all it takes is, you know, one more squirrel, one more elf, one more otter, one more being in any of the next couple sets to just revive those for another round for 3 months, you know, which I think is really good. Yeah, I think Webb has a good point, right? There's cards like Chainsaw that are cool and even playable cards, but where will they fit, right? Because you need instant speed removal in a lot of cases. Unless you're playing very specifically a sacrifice deck, you probably aren't even going to play Chainsaw. Which is sad, because I think Chainsaw is a cool card. Leo says, also, Bloomburrow had a thematic smash hit. Love the flavor, the aesthetic, the SK is mechanically cool, but the haunted house. Yeah, that's fair. I think every set's going to feel different to people. You know, not every set's supposed to hit for every person. Otherwise, we would just make everything feel like the same theme all the time, right? You want there to be different things for different folks because they're trying to keep roping new players in. So you find something that works for them. So if something doesn't hit, it's cool. You hate the mono red ads for Bloomburrow, so that might be basing it on a bit. That's fair if you don't like a deck, but to say the whole set's bad because of that or lesser because of that, I think it puts you in a situation of, as they say, you know, missing the forest for the trees, as it were. But yeah, I think the craziest thing right now is we're kind of just spoiled as Magic players. I mean, because think about the standard legal sets we've gotten for the last, I don't know, 4 years. Like, has the only real, if we want to call it a dud, the only real dud has been Murders at Karlov Manor, I think. And that's mostly from a flavor loss. There's still cards that are useful in that set, but that's probably the closest we've had, and it wasn't even abysmal. Like, we're in a crazy time right now where every deck type has something it can play, right? Whether you want to play some type of control, you want to play super friends, you want to play hyper aggro decks, enchantment things, artifact things, weird combo stuff, life gain decks, like creature themed decks, you know, all kinds of stuff, right? Reanimator things are still popular. Like, this is the weirdest time in a long time where I think we could actually say you can play almost any type of deck you enjoy playing in standard right now. Like, I'm trying to think about types of decks that existed that if somebody liked it, there wouldn't be something reasonable in standard. But I think almost whatever you like to play, there is something, at least in that space, that you can play in standard right now. And that's pretty crazy to say. Because remember, back when we were talking about, oh, standard's going to go to 3 years, and I don't know how that's going to be, and blah, blah, blah. Like, people were so concerned. But literally, when we turned that corner, everything's just been great since. You know what I mean? Like, standard's been pretty crazy to the point that you almost don't even remember when standard was 2-year standard, right? Because it's just been so good. And honestly, the other interesting thing I would say is that we thought the problem was going to be, well, people are only going to play the top like 50 cards and you're not going to see anything else. But that's not been the case either. And I think when you have decks like, or sets like Bloomburrow, that helps make sure that doesn't happen, right? Because if you're going to play rabbits, or you're going to play mice, or you're going to play otters, like, you kind of have to have certain cards from that set, right? You can't just ignore things. And I think that's actually pretty good too. I think best of 3 and best of 1 have a lot of variety to them. I mean, I go through look at the stuff from like the Magic Online stuff. I go through stuff on the different leagues online, and like there's all playing a variety of stuff. Webb says, "Oh, agreed. A friend of mine in Best of 3 Standard has a 5-color doors deck. When I first saw it, I didn't think it worked, but it was cool." There you go. Exactly, right? That's a good example. Do I think MTG should be more like Yu-Gi-Oh! And make certain sets permanent in Standard, or do you think they'll lose too much money or become too unbalanced? I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a completely different set of needs, and that is a giant conversation to have based on the game, their player base, whatever. That being said, you'll have Foundations legal for 5 years. So you're going to get some of that anyway. Motley says, "I've really liked most of the sets over the last 3 years. The only stinkers were March of the Machine." Oh, March of the Machines was actually useful. There were some cards there. It was a small set, though, so, you know, it's hard to actually count that for too much. But there were actual useful cards in there that still pop up that I think people forget about. All Will Be One was more than fine. I didn't have a problem with that. March of the Machines, though, it's hard to count it because it was like a quarter of the size of a regular set. Longtime Commander guy, I play Historic to grind the Arena ladder as well. Is Standard right now limited to 6 to 8 decks at most? Man, you have not been here for the conversation. Like, Standard, you can play whatever the hell you want. Like, seriously. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, hell, today we were winning with decks that were completely absurd, like doing dumb things that are totally not on meta, and we were able to win games against top decks. So, yeah, I honestly, if anything, I would say Standard at least leaves room right now that if you play well enough, you can get away with some things. I think if you're not a good player, getting too far off the beaten path is probably a problem, because you probably will get some bad luck or get outplayed. You know, I think that's real. But I think there's actually a lot you can do. I think Center has variety, but is too powerful. Speaking about best of 1, I don't even know if that's true, though. Like, today, we played all kinds of stuff and did all kinds of silly things. Like, well, I guess the question would be, if you don't want Standard to look like it does now, what is your ideal Standard? I think that's a better question. Also, you probably covered this at some point, but will you be at MagicCon? Yes, I will be in Vegas. I will probably... What am I going to... Well, because of some stuff around the Commander Advisory Group has changed, I don't know my official schedule just yet. But I will be there for all 3 days of the event. Really interested in what happens with Foundations. I don't expect it to be too crazy, honestly. It's probably going to feel a lot like a core set. Just be around longer. Flavor-wise, I strongly dislike Dustmorn. We don't need Stranger Things, Ghostbusters in a fantasy game. That's fine. I mean, here's the thing. We've had varieties of those things available anyway. We just made them look like something else. Right? Go all the way back to Antiquities. It was the original, like, Brothers War thing, right? They had all these different mechanical war machines and horses and whatever. Like, we just made them look like something else. It's really not that big a deal. And it's not like we're going to be doing it all the time, right? And there is the reality that if you are jumping to a bunch of different planes, why wouldn't one plane be slightly different or more advanced than other ones? Like, the same way we find planes where, like, the lands move, why is there not one where people have maybe gunpowder? Right? Like, possible. When you can have win above 60% with Bant Overlords, Standard is just fine, and you can. Yeah, I think everything can have... Like, here's the real reality. And I've said this before. The ladder is not a tournament. You can get away playing some really dumb things with some not even complete list. You might be substituting because you don't have stuff in your collection or whatever, and still do well on the ladder. Because the average person on the ladder, A, isn't always going to have the cards they need for their decks anyway, so they're in a similar situation. The other is the average player in the ladder is not going to be as good as the average player in a tournament. Just the way it is. Like, so something winning in a tournament also doesn't mean it wins on the ladder, because they might be targeting certain things, knowing the best of 3 tournament meta, whatever, that they're expecting. And then you get on the ladder and it's a bunch of idiocy and you're losing to random cards. So that's something to always keep in mind too. You miss Yorian Standard? I do not. Those were very boring games. Are you going to be walking around with a fake mustache and a beard? No, I'm just out there being myself. If people want to come talk to me, hell, people can come talk to me about the Commander Advisory stuff and what happened. I don't have a problem with it. Motley says, you're old. Hey, welcome to the club. Ideal standard is when mid-range is king. A healthy standard format will be mid-range decks as the powerhouse of the format. I don't know if that's totally true. I think we've had several standards. Like, why would you not want everything to be balanced? Why does mid-range have to be on top? Why does anything have to be on top? Hell, I'd argue right now nothing is on top. And I think that's where you'd rather have it, right? Why should... and this is a legit question, like, why should a format be defined by somebody or people only wanting to play super grindy games? Right? Like, mid-rangey grind, like, why would that be the pinnacle of the format? Why wouldn't it be okay for there to be some weird control planeswalker thing? Or also some Gruul aggro decks? Or artifact combo-y things? Right? Like, I think having them all exist is actually better than having any one type of deck on top. You love Bloomburrow, so you know you have plenty of space left for fun, original fantasy setting. Nah, that's not weird. I mean, everybody likes what they like. I mean, I think that's the reason they're doing all this stuff and doing these crossover products and, you know, the Universes Beyond and the Secret Layer stuff or whatever, because they all draw different people in. And it's been working, you know? Like, you keep seeing more and more people and they keep selling more and more cards. So it's definitely a plan that's benefited a lot of people. I wish I met those average players constantly running the top meta decks on the best of one ladder. I mean, here's the thing. Like, people say that, but I wonder, and I'm not accusing you of anything, Webb, but because I hear it from other people. But like, not everybody can be playing against all the top decks all the time with all the best players and all of them getting their nut draws all the time, right? You know what I mean? Like, that can't be true mathematically. Like, it just can't be. But if you talk to people like, I always run into mono red and they always have the enchantment, they kill me on turn 2. Or I always run into the white decks, they always have, I don't know, Sunfall on turn 5 and I can't win. But that can't be the case all the time. Like, I literally play so much stuff testing all these different decks, and I see the gamut. I see the best and the worst. I see people that make misplays, and I see people that play perfectly. And, you know, but I think a lot of it is we remember the negative times more often. It's a human reaction. It's a defensive mechanism, right? It's the same reason you touch something once on a stove that's hot because it's red. In the future, anything that's red, you don't want to touch it because your brain says, hey, last time we touched something that's red, it's bad, right? So you remember the negative things more. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of people. But I think if you actually recorded more of your stuff and you went back and looked, or you kept a tally of the different decks you're running into, you're probably seeing a bigger variety than you think. A balanced standard is best, but it's clearly not balanced at the moment. I don't think that's true. What makes it unbalanced? Like, again, on the streams today, what did we see? We played a ton of games and we saw a whole variety of decks. And we're playing at Diamond, which is like the grindiest level of all the ranks. You know what I mean? So, like, if we were going to run into that stuff, this is where we're going to run into it. By the way, I think Mythic is the least grindy. I think people just goof around a lot at Mythic. So unless you're trying to stay in the top 1,200, I don't think Mythic is even the most competitive. I think it is like upper platinum through most of Diamond, personally. Yeah, red decks are strong, but also they die a lot of times when you have too early removal cards. Like, it just is what it is. But that's the thing, Webb. I don't think it matters. I'm talking about standard as a whole. I don't even care if it's best one or best of three. Both are super healthy right now. Like, the only thing I would say is if they wanted to do anything and you wanted to get rid of Leyline, it wouldn't be because the deck's not beatable. It'd just be because people have a bad taste in their mouth from a negative play experience, which is fine if you want to do it for that reason. But I don't think it's because it's unbeatable or too dominant or anything like that. Yeah, that's true too, right? If everybody was only playing like the best decks and if there was only a one or two best decks, then people would just build those and that truly is all you would see. I agree with Cheen pretty accurately there. So top three decks in standard are murky, as in it could be highly argued they are deserving of those spots. I don't even know what I would say is like. If I tried really hard, I could probably pick like 6 or 7. But I think you're overthinking it, honestly. Just go watch some footage, watch some different games, go watch some tournament stuff, watch a couple streams, and then make up your mind on what you want to play. That's what I would do. I think over analyzing is just going to give you analysis paralysis. Diamond Platinum is so hard to get through a grind, though. Yeah, and that's probably where the bulk of the players sit, is in Platinum and Diamond. But it's just kind of the nature of it, right? I think the same thing, like for me in Teamfight Tactics, it's like every time I get to gold, it just gets to be a slog. I don't ever get above gold 2, right? That's just where it just becomes a slog for so long. And I was like, I'll spend half the season there. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, every game has their glut point somewhere. Congrats on the Magic commercials. Yeah, that was an interesting thing. We recorded those earlier this year, and it was just an opportunity to do some promotions for Arena. They reached out to me. We did a couple of projects, so it's cool. I got paid for them, so it was nice. It's just interesting because I get messages from people like, dude, I was on YouTube and this thing came up, or I was just like looking up something on Google and like this thing popped up and you were in it. Or on TikTok, right? Or whatever. So it's kind of funny when that happens, especially when people I haven't talked to in forever. They just like reach out like, hey, I saw an ad with you on it. You're in Platinum always seems like better decks every 2 to 4 fights. Some of that though is just like the pairings, right? As you're winning, you're going to get paired with more people that are winning or whatever. And then like sometimes it's just going to happen. Usually kill yourself emotionally on the grind to Mythic. I finally decided who cares? Get to Platinum, enjoy the play queue. Like here's a real thing. And it's good you said that, Webb. I think people need to understand. One, any game. If you start getting frustrated, just turn the damn thing off. And I mean that genuinely. Like get up, walk around, go pet your dog or your cat, go for a walk, grab a snack, whatever. Watch your favorite YouTube channel, whatever it is. Like, just take your mind off it for a little bit. Like, there's no need to let your game stress you out. If your games are stressing you out, you probably need to assess the relationship you have with the game, And then the reality is, the only difference between Platinum, Diamond, Mythic is one more digital booster pack. There's genuinely no difference there. Again, unless you're trying to stay in the top 1,200, play in the end of season tournament, qualify for the Pro Tour, whatever, blah, blah, right? If you are, that grind has a whole different thing, and that's a whole mental mindset that's completely different. That's a whole different thing. But if you're just an average person that's just playing Arena to have fun, try different decks out, rank up where you can, you're not really losing anything by not getting to Mythic. That's why I always laugh when people are like, I raced to Mythic. And okay, cool. So when the set was out, before people had their decks all figured out, you raced to Mythic and got to Mythic. Great. Now what? You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're at Mythic. Great. Awesome. Like, I've literally gotten to Mythic when I've been... Like, I kill my rank constantly just testing dumb decks just to see if they work and still get to Mythic half the time. So it's just like, it's just a thing. I mean, it's cool to do it as an achievement at least once to say, like, hey, I did it. I got to Mythic, But, like, after that, You don't like to play against or with control because I play best of one to see mini decks and sitting through clean board for 30 minutes because you kept cleaning. Yeah, that's fair. But I don't think that makes Magic bad or unbalanced. It's just that style of deck is going to be a legal way to play. But if you don't like it, the cool part is you can just concede and you can be in another game in like 2 minutes. I've done it before. Like if I'm at the end of recording a video and I know, we're 4 turns in and it looks like it's going to be a 15 turn game, I know I'm not going to use that for the footage. So I just concede and go to the next game so I can try to get one more matchup that it's going to fit the video. Nothing wrong with that. Quite happy to get the gold tells you you're at least average. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. One thing you know about PowrDragn that he plays decks gravitate towards. Big dumb green dummies. One of my favorite, and he clearly enjoys the variety. Well, the thing is, you kind of have to have variety, right? I literally put up a video on YouTube every single day for over 4.5 years now. Like, that's pretty crazy. Right, so I have to have. There's some people going like, I don't know why you play this. I like watching you play this. Like, dude, I have to do other things. Right, like you're not gonna come to the channel to watch me play. I don't know, the 10th version of Gruul Aggro for the season. Right, at some point it just quits getting views. Like you have to have variety. And sometimes it'll pop up on other people's things, right? Because they're like, oh, you're playing this style of deck. I like that, but the person who likes to play mid-rangey, grindy things probably doesn't want to see the hyper aggro, Gruul Aggro deck or whatever. Yeah, when I first hit Mythic years back, I was shocked how silly the opponent's decks were too. Yeah, because that's the thing. Once you're in Mythic, unless, again, if, once you're below the top 1,200 or whatever, there's no difference in what you're earning. So at that point, people just play whatever, one experiment with weird stuff because you've already gotten what there's going to be. So it doesn't matter if you're at 65% in Mythic or you're at 92% in Mythic, you're getting the exact same thing. Yeah, we kind of use PowrDragn whenever we're doing anything performative. I remember playing MTG when the Dark set was out, and the same issues we have now were starting back then. The best cure is to find colors that you're interested in. Yeah, that's the other thing too, Brandon. That's a good point as well, right? Like, over time, you hear a lot of the same things from players, right? It's just different through different periods. It's like, whereas people are like, mono red's too strong. At some point, it was like, the Gruul Fires Javamaya deck is just ridiculous. I don't even know why they made this stupid card. It's just a different thing at a different time, right? People like different cards. Same thing with control stuff, right? It's like, Wrath of God's too good. Now it's like, Sunfall's too good. Though Sunfall is an amazing card. But it's just going to be a different thing in a different period, Though, to be fair, Farewell was pretty stupid. I'm glad we're not playing with Farewell anymore. That was kind of dumb. But I like the fact that that's gone because it does allow other decks to exist, right? There's other quirky enchantment and artifact things you can do that we couldn't do if Farewell was around. So that's kind of nice. People wanting Innkeeper banned. Yeah, that's true. Innkeeper was a problem once upon a time. Have you ever seen good content on moving from digital to paper? Like what to expect showing up for an F&M for your first time? I have a video on going to a sealed event for the first time. It's roughly the same thing. You could check that out. I think it's in the strategy playlist on my channel. But you could probably just look up sealed or pre-release in the search function on my channel on YouTube, and you'll probably find it. It's basically the same thing. There's really nothing different to expect, though. Like, if you've ever been to a paper pre-release for sealed, it's the same thing. Only difference is you're just bringing a deck. Make sure you have your tokens and stuff so you can track all your things. I think the biggest thing for if you've only played Magic Online or Arena, going to paper, is that you just have to remember all your triggers, right? Put some practice time in so you know how all your cards work. Because it's very easy to play online and like it stacks all the stuff for you and it asks you if you want to add something to the stack and blah, 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 right? But in paper, like your opponent plays a thing, they give you a chance to do something, you pass, they go to do something else, and you're like, oh, but I wanted to do, it's like, well, you chose not to. But that's really the only difference. Like the original Mirrodin block. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can like whatever set you like. That's like, you said it like that was going to be, that's fine. You're welcome to that. The adventure deck was more degenerative than red deck wins. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. That deck was pretty nuts. Like, I think the difference is with mono red, like a lot of times you can just get 1 or 2 removal and then like control the rest of the game, right? Like with the adventure deck, like they could grind so many different ways. Like even when I was playing it, there were just so many weird ways you found your ways out of holes, and like it was just so hard to deal with. And they got extra cards, and they're returning stuff to your hand, and it's like it was so much going on. Said you made platinum this season so far with Just Guy Super Friends. I'm not sure how good it is though. I mean, it's good enough for you to get to platinum. It's good enough. It qualifies. If someone is struggling with trying to trim a deck, do you have a suggestion for that? What about suggestion for building around certain card for a deck? Trimming is just play the games, and then what's the least useful card for you? Cut that. I mean, it's honestly kind of that simple. Like today, it was like we played the games, and I went, every time I had this card, I wanted it to just mulligan put it back in, or almost never wanted to cast it. So then it gets cut. Building around a card, I've thought about doing a full video on that, but it's almost just going to be a very negative video. Because the reality is, oftentimes, people are going to play bad cards. Actually, they're going to play worse cards to justify bad cards. And then they're already in trouble from the get-go. Right? So the thing they're wanting to build around is already like a quirky bad card that doesn't do very much, but you got to get the Magic Christmas Land scenario of these 2 or 3 other cards with it, but 2 of the 3 cards are also trash. So now you have a bunch of bad cards that if you don't get multiples together, they don't do anything. That's often, like anytime we do deck techs or deck doctor stuff or whatever on streams, that's almost always what I'm doing with people's decks. It's just like, oh, I see what you're doing, but you're going too hard in this thing, and now you have a bunch of cards that don't do anything. Or you have cards that don't work together because you're trying to focus on this one thing, but if you don't get the one thing, the rest of the deck is garbage. Right? That just happens. Like, you have to understand at some point where you're just like doing yourself a disservice. Look at any of the cards in the deck together. And like, okay, go to Moxfield, put your deck list in there, and just do practice draws. And then look at those hands and go, okay, what am I doing on the first 3 turns? Like, most of the time, it's nothing, because you got the wrong cards together, and they're bad. Right? Or look and say, okay, how am I going to deal with the Rabbits deck that has, like, 3 creatures on turn 3? Like, you're probably not. Right? So that's how you know when you're building poorly around the wrong cards. This might be a hot take, but outside of Murder's Carlog Manor, Wizards has been doing excellent with something. We were just talking about that earlier. Like, it's been basically all bangers. And then Watsy thought, let's throw this Omnath into the Adventures deck. Yeah, that was kind of silly. How do I feel about the power level of Standard currently? Standard's great. If a deck only works in Magical Christmas Land, it might need to be built differently, or maybe more than one win condition. That's mostly true, but the problem is you probably just don't need to play the deck. And that's a tough thing, right? Because you get this idea in your head and it's like, oh, I want to do this really sweet thing, and there's this card I really like, and this deck's gonna be awesome. But there's a point where like, and I'm guilty of it, right? When I'm trying to make content and I want to build around certain cards, I'm gonna do crazy stuff. Like, there's days literally where I put 4 or 5 hours into a deck and I'm just like, yeah, this ain't it. Like at some point I just have to say, like, I've tried so many different permutations of this. I've tried going different. I tried to make it more aggressive. I tried to put more answers. I tried to do this. Like, it's just not good. And you have to just cut bait and move to the next thing. But I get people who literally, like, by the way, if you ever want deck help, I have a membership level on YouTube that has a private forum for level 3 members that just comes right to me. If you want to get deck help, I can help you with that all the time. So if you're on YouTube, hop over there, join the channel. You also get to have input on what shows up on the channel and stuff. And like when I'm in Vegas, you'll be getting some vlog videos if you're a level 2 member or higher. So yeah, cool stuff. But that said, I do get people who I kind of have to be the bearer of bad news and say, like, look, I get what you're trying to do, but this just isn't going to happen. right? And I always have to point out, like, here's all these bad cards you're playing to try to make this other thing work. And even when it works, you may not even win the game, right? Now, if it's one of those scenarios when like it actually works, it for real like starts to lock the game up where your opponent can't do something, then cool. But a lot of times it's not even the case. You're just like, you did this cool thing and you made a couple of tokens and drew a couple of cards or something, and then you just died the next turn anyway. So it's like, is it even worth doing? Unless, again, you were maybe a content creator and you just want to see the cool thing pop off, then maybe. I thought all 4 of the most recent sets had really positive additions to MTG. Yep. The "this ain't working" feeling is a bad one. It is indeed. But you know, I think it's that human nature thing, right? I think it's not everybody, but a lot of people, humans as a whole, are hard at judging ourselves, right? And especially when we like something, like how many times have you heard somebody's like that likes a bad movie will try to justify to you that like, oh no, this is the greatest movie, you got to watch it, whatever. Even though the movie's trash, like we can all have a guilty pleasure, but some of the movies just aren't good, right? But those same people, even though something else might be an award winner or made a bunch of money at the box office, they'll walk around saying, oh, well, that movie's trash because they didn't like it, right? So we get really attached to things that we think are good. And it's hard for people to let go of that. Because, and I tell people all the time, there's movies I enjoyed from when I was a kid. But man, I tried to rewatch Lost Boys. I literally turned it off like 15 or 20 minutes in to preserve a memory. I'm not even joking. Like, that movie's not good. I enjoyed the hell out of it growing up. Movie's not good. I mean, hell, I'll say another one, too, that's going to make people mad. Goonies ain't that great, y'all. Go back and watch it. It's a lot of, like, bad puns and poorly shot stuff. And the acting from the kids is pretty mediocre and awkward at times. Like, it ain't great. It's a fun thing as a kid, you know. Coming of age adventure kind of movie, whatever. It's just cool, but it ain't a good movie. Like, hell, I tell people all the time, I argue that if you really, 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 really want to get into the nitty gritty on Star Wars, it's not a great movie. But I give Star Wars credit for being one of the first movies to do all the crazy sci-fi things it was doing and literally turning trash cans into robots and making the Millennium Falcon look like it's time warping through space or whatever, right? All cool. But if you go back and look, the dialogue is trash. Like, some of the shootouts and the fight scenes are pretty terribly choreographed. Like, it just was what it was for the time, right? But nostalgia hits hard for people. You know, it's just the way it is. Can't stand Pulp Fiction. Yeah, but Pulp Fiction, again, like, if you don't like it, cool. But it made a bunch of money and it won a lot of awards. So it's obvious that a lot of people like it, right? So you can't walk around really saying like Pulp Fiction's trash. Like, to be fair, I can say I accept that Leonardo DiCaprio is a solid actor, but I don't like a lot of the movies that he's been in. I'm not going to say his movies are trash. They're just not things that I enjoy, you know? Big Trouble in Little China still holds up. See, the thing about Big Trouble in Little China, though, is it was never trying to be a good movie. Like, it knew exactly what... It's like Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, right? That movie knew exactly what it was trying to do. It was blending martial arts movies with, like, the blaxploitation movies and just being a caricature of itself. It's not good or bad. It just is exactly what it's trying to be. And if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, great. You know? Goonies has lost by nostalgia alone. I agree. The best criticism is any criticism, good and bad. Sometimes, a lot of times you have to be able to understand what people are actually saying, because some people are criticizing things that aren't really critical. They're just saying something, and I think that's a big difference. Curious why you have that 1,000 gold quest in the green circle around it when it came up. 1,000 gold quest in the green circle. Oh, this is just like if I complete a quick draft. Like, I do 3 quick draft matches, I get 1,000 gold. Like, this will just sit here because I'm not going to draft. It just sits there and I don't ever get it. It's fine, though. Like, I mean, it's a cool extra reward if you want to draft. Can we at least agree Star Wars gave us the best spoof ever? I don't even know if Spaceballs is the best spoof. It's a good one. I enjoyed it. But, I mean, the Naked Gun series was good, and those were spoofs. I guess technically even something like Airplane was kind of a spoof on multiple things. There's been some good ones out there. I'd have to really break it down and see. Like, it'd be pretty high, but I don't know if I've ever thought and said it's the best ever. But again, that's opinion based, so like nothing wrong with you thinking it is. Star Wars prequels are great, but that doesn't mean the standard sucks right now. I don't even know what that's trying to say. That was a weird statement. Pre-Bloomborough, it was bad, but it wasn't this bad. I guess if you just don't like standard, you don't like standard hero. But I'll tell you, there's an overwhelmingly larger number of people that disagree with you. It's fine. We're all entitled to opinions. If you don't like standard right now, you don't like standard. That's cool. But I'm telling you, a very large number of people think standard is very good right now. Couldn't watch the newest Ghostbuster movies. I have a feeling I'd actually enjoy that. Like, I enjoy, and this is going to make Star Wars fans mad, so if you want to unfollow me, you might as well do it now, because here it comes. I enjoyed the new Star Wars movies and I did the old ones. I said it. I get it. I get why people don't like the new ones, but there's nothing truly relatable for me in the old ones. The only, of the original three, the only one I really liked was the one where they were on Endor, and it was all about the Ewoks worshiping C-3PO and the speeder bikes through the woods and all that, right? That was fun. The rest, I was like, it's cool. It's a space movie, but I wasn't into it. I've already learned what my problem is, though. I don't like the Skywalkers. Like, literally, the stuff I like about Star Wars has virtually no Skywalkers in it, or they're not the focus, right? Like that the one Star Wars movie I'm talking about. But then there's also, like, The Mandalorian. The only episode I didn't like was the one where they had Luke in there trying to, like, do a training sequence with Grogu for no good reason other than just to connect it to the Skywalkers. Like, everything else I enjoyed. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I already figured that out. Honestly, you know what the best Star Wars movie is? In the House of PowrDragn? Rogue One. And for me, it's not even close. Like, Rogue One is the first time I left a Star Wars movie and was like, that was awesome. Right? Like, top to bottom, all the characters were fun and interesting. Like, the action sequences were cool. Like, when spoiler, but hell, it's whatever that was, like 6-7 years ago now, whatever. But like when the droid died, I remember being in a theater going like, oh, that's it, everybody's dead, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's something about it. Like, when that died, I knew, like, when we still had like 20 minutes till the end of the movie, and I'm like, that's it, nobody's making it out, they're all dead, right? And just seeing it happen was cool. Like, and I like having the unanswered stuff. Like, was the old guy actually a Jedi, or was he protected by the Force, or did he just believe he was and that was good enough so he just didn't get shot walking across the battlefield? Like, whatever, right? There was some crazy stuff in there that I don't need explained. People tried to deep dive on it. Like, I don't care. I had a fun time at the movies. I enjoyed everything about it, top to bottom. I don't need to know anything else about a single character in it, and I can enjoy it. That was great for me. And that's why I tell people, like, they think I'm joking, but for me, it's like Rogue One. Like, if I made a chart, I would put number 1 up here, and then I would start number 2, take your pick, something down here. Like, it's not even close for me. Have I watched Andor? Yeah, I enjoyed Andor. I thought that was great. And again, there's almost no Skywalkers mentioned. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't care about that at the movies. You know what I want? I want to be entertained. I want you to show me cool stuff. If it's a space movie, let's have some spaceships, blow some things up. Let's use some, whatever, in the case of Star Wars, magic powers, whatever it is we got to do. Like, just entertain me. That's it. Because I already knew, once we already decided we were tying everything back to the Star Wars, the ceiling was already capped on the original or the new 3 movies for me anyway. Right? When it started out, like, oh, we found this pilot, and then we found this like stormtrooper or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We're going a whole different direction. And then it's like, oh, nope, yep, just more Jedis and Skywalkers. Never mind. Like, so it just didn't matter. Like, it really didn't. But seriously, if you could give me more Star Wars without ever mentioning Luke or Vader or a Skywalker or Anakin or whatever, I'd be great. I've said it before on stream. I think the biggest thing Disney's leaving on the table, dead serious, is the world of Star Wars voiced by David Attenborough. I think that would be a slam dunk hit on Disney Plus. People would buy it just for that. Like, you would get all the people that were just curious. You would get all the hardcore Star Wars nerds. Like, and we don't have much time if we want to do it because David Attenborough, I think, is like 93 or something. Like, his clock's ticking. But, man, like, tell me that wouldn't be cool. Like, we could go to actual, like, Endor, or we could go to Tatooine. Hell, we can go see other planets that we never talk about in Star Wars. Because that's the other thing about Star Wars that bugs me. Because we talk about in the galaxy far, far away and all these planets and all this stuff, but we're only ever talking about one family and, like, 6 planets. You know what I mean? Like, that's also kind of weird. Whereas, like, in Star Trek, we've literally gone every damn where. But again, still enjoyed them more. Like, I get what you're saying, Motley. Still enjoyed them more than the original 3. Yeah, Battlestar Galactica was cool. I didn't have a problem with Battlestar. It was sweet. I don't know if it would hold up now, but they did a lot of cool stuff at the time. Morgan Freeman could. I think that's fine. He could voice the world of Star Wars. I'd watch that. Also, the other idea I pitch around, it's not as strong as the War of the Star Wars, but how it's made, Star Wars edition, right? You get an episode of like, this is how we make a phase blaster, and this is how a TIE fighter's made. Or like, I don't know, this is how they make the AT-ATs or whatever. Like, just crazy stuff, right? It's all made up anyway, but like, it would be cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally nerddom for the sake of being nerddom, but why not? Right? How it's made is showing us how to make like ice skates, baseballs, you know, whatever, and people watched all that. So why not do it for Star Wars? I just want Star Wars to avoid the Old Republic for now, because the writing has been, in my opinion, not as good as other Star Wars. Here's the other thing too, though, and this is the point that I think also hurts people, especially when it comes to nostalgia, because we feel like we own things when our heart and our nostalgia is attached to it. But the new stuff isn't always for us. Like, legitly, right? Because we are not always going to be the ones going to the movie theater. We're not going to be the ones buying the merchandise like we were when we were younger, right? We were buying the action figures, the t-shirts, the lunch boxes, you know, whatever. But now they have to do stuff to appeal to a slightly different audience. So they sprinkle in enough to make it fun and, you know, still connect to the old stuff for the old heads. But you got to make it for the new audience. You know, we see that with a lot of Transformers has that issue, you know, a bunch of things. But you kind of have to, right? If you just kept making Star Wars for old heads, eventually you don't make any money at the box office, right? People get upset. It's like, oh, well, Rey and Finn and whatever. And it's like, yeah, you kind of needed a new diverse cast, right? There's more people, and the people that are into Star Wars now are different than they were once upon a time. Like, we see it at conventions. We see the demographics changing. So it makes sense that they did what they did. And I will tell you, the very next year when you saw, hell, it felt like every third little girl that came to the door during Halloween was dressed as Rey. It's like, well, that's why they did it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole reason. Will Magic's Netflix series fly? Here's the thing. I'm going to say something people don't want to hear, but I think this is absolutely fact. Is the Netflix series doesn't have to be good. It just has to not be trash. Like, seriously. Like, because here's the thing, right? If it's good or it's great, then fantastic. Like, double win, awesome. But the reality is, as long as it's just okay, all the Magic players will watch it, and you'll still pick up some amount of new fans that'll check it out, right? If the animation's cool and whatever, like, people will watch it. People watch all kinds of random stuff. So you just need it to not be terrible. And to be fair, the new showrunner they have is actually the person who was in charge for the new Picard series. So you already have a leg up, right? It's somebody who knows how to work with a nostalgic fan base that has a lot of history, even how to treat a character coming back that like you're gonna have to expand on the old history. So they've already done that. And on top of that, that was on Paramount Plus. So that means that person already knows how to work with these agencies and streaming services and all that. So it at least has a good leg up going into it, if nothing else. But I think Hollywood isn't doing that. Like all the stuff is pure nostalgia. Even the new trilogy, at least the first and the third movies are straight up nostalgia. I don't think that's solely true. I think there was nostalgia thrown in there, and they did the pull to draw it back for those people, to connect it to old stuff. I think that's true. But there's definitely way more in there that, again, I'm more Star Wars adjacent than being a Star Wars hardcore fan. And again, I enjoyed the new 3 more than I enjoyed the old 3. So definitely there's a different feel and a vibe there that connects different or is more relatable to some amount of the audience. I've done all of the weeks, days, quests. I'm loving the new mono black combos. Yeah, there's definitely a few that are out there. All these years watching Yu-Gi-Oh anime? Yeah, that's fair. But you have to remember too, that's a bit different because Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, whatever, Dragon Ball Z, they started as animes, right? Their whole history is anime. Their music comes from the series. Like their merchandising was all based on something that was animated first, right? The thing that makes Magic and D&D both very unique is that they were a gaming product that has had virtually no, I mean, there was like the 1980s D&D thing that ran for a couple of seasons, but virtually no other real promotion other than what they do of their own. Right? Now you're starting to see more marketing stuff where you can get like Magic leggings and, D&D throws and different things like that now, but it took a while for us to get there. So it's kind of surprising that both those licenses are as big as they are when up until recently there weren't a series of super good top end, mega $1 million selling video games or animated series or whatever. Only watched last seasons of Picard, but I didn't hate the first 2 seasons. Oh, fair. I hadn't seen any of it, but I heard it was good. I'll be honest, I barely recall The New Hope. I'd have to rewatch it, honestly. Speaking of D&D, I was shocked by how much I enjoyed it. The D&D movie was great. I think the D&D movie suffered from a marketing push that wasn't able to line up because it got pushed back a couple of times. And the timing on it felt a little bit weird. So I think a bunch of people didn't go to the box office and see it. But from what I understand, it was on Max already and did very well. And it's right now, it got moved to Netflix and it's on like the top 5 viewed things on Netflix or something. So obviously people are enjoying it. But yeah, that was a fun movie. It's tough because it didn't bomb, but it didn't succeed to the level they wanted it to. So I don't know if it's going to get a sequel, which is a little bit disappointing because I think now that enough people experienced the first one, I think if you brought the cast back, people would be willing to go see a second one. And I think it would do much more money than the first one. I think the problem that it also had working against it was that the previous D&D movies were not very good. Not even good. Saying not very good is being kind. They were bad. They had like 1 or 2 good actors in them, but they were pretty bad. And I think that's the problem. Right? People heard like, D&D movie, whatever. I'll wait till it comes out on video. But then by the time you hear all the good reviews, well, it's not in the box office anymore. Right? So I think that's kind of the issue it had going for it. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I don't even know anybody who, well, even non-nerds I know enjoyed it. But I was just thinking about like the actual gaming nerds I know that all saw it actually all liked it. I don't think I heard anybody complain about it. No real complaints. Like people nitpicked 1 or 2 things, but like generally everybody enjoyed it. So I'm hoping it gets another one, but it's not looking good right now. Like to the point that even if it did, it probably was nowhere near starting production. So even if we got one, probably couldn't be until like late 26, early 27 at this point, probably. Whew, all right. I think that's gonna do it for us, folks. This was fun, man. We played some crazy decks. Maybe we'll do that more tomorrow or the next day. I got to figure it out because we played some wild decks, and I still have some other stuff we could play too that I think would be a lot of fun. Kev says the Lord of the Rings movies were wonderful when they came out. I have no stamina to watch them again. Oh, it's funny you say that. Like at one point, there was a local theater I did some stuff with, and they pitched to me 2 times actually. One time was to do all of the Lord of the Rings movies back to back to back. And then they also wanted to do, before the last Harry Potter movie, all the Harry Potter movies back to back to back. And like have us work and, sell discounted tickets to our customers, do a big shindig. And I'm just like, you're asking people to literally watch like all day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and for Lord of the Rings stuff, they want to do the major extended release where each one's like 3.5 hours or something. I'm like, we would be getting in there at like 10 a.m. and leaving at like 1 in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like with intermissions and everything else. Like that's insane. Like there was no way. And they were surprised I wasn't eager to do it. Like you could tell they had like a manager meeting or something and they're like, oh, okay, we're going to go to the guy that's in charge of the nerds in the nerd store and we're going to do this cool promotion. We're going to sell these tickets for this special event. And I literally just like cold stopped it immediately. And they were just like, really? We thought, but was like, no, this is terrible. Right? Like, that's just too much, man. It is too much. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure a handful of people would have really enjoyed that are super fans or whatever. But even me having to assign myself or an employee there to like answer questions, chaperone things, whatever, like it just wasn't going to be worth it. It was just too much. I appreciate the idea, the concept, but even when they come on TV now, like they're playing in the background or something on Netflix and I'll be getting done editing a video and I'm looking over my shoulder like, damn, that thing's still on? Like, so like, there's no way I'd sit through it all right now. 19 movies in 4 days at a film festival? Oh my God, I would die. Like I would have been falling asleep at like movie number 9. Like seriously, there's no way I could do that. Started at Iron Man and ended Avenger. Oh God, that's like, isn't that for real? Like 4 days worth of movies? Assuming you took time to sleep for like 5 or 6 hours. Oh, Leo, thank you so much for the super chats, man. Super appreciated. It makes these off streams worth doing for sure when I make a little extra because I take a lot of time just hang out with you guys. Oh man. All right, cool. Quick things. For those of you who don't know, check out mistymountaingaming.com. I'm doing some promotions with them right now. They have some cool stuff. And if you want to do some gift shopping, now is a great time because they gave me a code that if you use the code Halloween Dragon, you can save 10%, which is awesome. And they'll give me a small kickback. So, even if nothing else, like legitly, even if you don't buy anything, go check it out just so you know what they have. And I mean this, like even before we were doing any sponsored deal, like I actually enjoy them and their company or whatever. But go to their website. They have crazy types of dice. Like if you want wooden stuff, precious stone stuff, metal stuff, like weird ornate filigree, they have leather bags, like all kinds of like diaries, like whatever, like every nerd thing you would want in leather, stone, wood, whatever, they probably have it. Like legitly. They're super nice people. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't. Also, if you want to support your boy directly, you should also check out my merch. I have a lot of stuff. I'll probably be wearing some in Vegas as well. So, if you're wearing something and you come see me, I might have something for you and it'd be cool. But yeah, I'll put the link in here as well so y'all can have that if you want to check it out. And again, I mean, I even have a mug that I use while I'm streaming. Like, I actually try to test a lot of my stuff to make sure that, like, it is legit. So it's not like, I don't know how good this is. Like, even if I put something up, I always order a sample, try it out, wear it, whatever, before I put it up for everybody else. So just so you know. Oh, Leo, you got to over to Misty Mountain? Yeah, their stuff is fantastic. Like, I think when you hear like Dice Company, you're like, oh, okay. But then when you go through their website, you're like, damn, like there's a lot of stuff there. that you've probably never even thought about. Like they have so much variety, and it's cool. Like if you have budget stuff and you just want to get some simple acrylic dice or whatever for like $5 to $10, like they have that. But if you want to get like high end collectible gift stuff, they have that too. Yeah, it's a crazy site. Like I don't know, and they set up at all the major conventions and stuff too. I've seen their booths. That's how I met them initially, and I just literally stood there and looked at a lot of their stuff and went like, "This stuff's crazy." Like so, I am really happy to be able to work with them because their stuff's fantastic. But all right, I think that's gonna do it, y'all. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna go work on some YouTube videos, get caught up on some things, probably some highlights. Check my fantasy football stuff because tomorrow's football day and there's an early game, I believe, overseas. So lots of stuff going on. But as always, because some of y'all came, we had somebody from Iceland earlier. So wherever you're at, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please remember to take care of yourselves and your family, especially right now with the weather being insane. I hope none of y'all have to deal with too many more floods or power outages or any of that stuff. Remember to be awesome, but even more importantly, be awesome to each other.